Alright, ready? Alright, ready? Ah, I knew it. Echo. Top shot. Now I have to. Okay, now I have to announce on Discord that I'm live or something. Are you ready, Greater? Are you ready? Everyone. For gigglers. I'm not sure which one. I am live. Come to stream. Right.
Hey, boy, we're going on a side quest.
Halloween Cove. We're gonna be watching a video about AI. I didn't know that. I did not know that Shadiversity was a AI activist, but you know, we're gonna find out why. Shadiversity is already reactionary, pathetic, sword content creator. So we're gonna find out what's the deal with the AI activism. I already had a very low expectations of Shadiversity.
Hey, boy, we're going on a side quest.
So recently, there was a crowdfunder for a new Dungeons & Dragons show called Min-Max. It was started by Cell Sword Arts. He wanted to bring together a bunch of various weapons.
These people seem okay? I've seen some of their videos. I'm not sure if they're... I don't think they're like Shadiversity. I became very careful of swordsmanship content creators because, I don't know, a lot of them turn out to be weird right-wing crazy people, but it seems like these are not that
weapon YouTubers
necessarily
to play a D&D game. The crowdfunder was very successful. I was very excited to see this show popping off, and it looks like there are now hundreds of thousands of fans of all these different weapon YouTubers excited to see their favorite creators coming together for a game of tabletop. As somebody who loves TTRPGs, this was really wholesome and great to see, but it also got me reminiscing on one of my favorite fascinations. Enter Shadiversity. Shadiversity is another sword YouTuber, though he is notably absent from this and, frankly, absent from many other sword collabs. No one really wants to work with this guy. Wonder why? I mean, if you take a look at his channel, he has over 1 million subscribers. He's clearly very successful.
Yeah.
But when you take a closer look...
But he's also insane, okay? He's also insane. I wrote a really crappy book. He wrote a really bad book.
Look at his videos, you'll notice that he barely cracks 50,000 views on a good day. Taking a look at his social blade, his subscriber count is in free fall, losing tens of thousands of subscribers over the past year. His views have flatlined. Looking at his collaborators, people who work on his channel, they're leaving in droves, many of them citing financial difficulties. And that begs the question, what happened to this guy? I mean, it's not every day you see such a successful YouTuber lose everything. Did he release some super unpopular video? Well, unfortunately for me, it's a bit more complicated. Shadiversity is a right-wing
hack. Okay? That is what he is. He's a right-wing hack.
Faceted lol cow. The spectrums
Oh
of
my
his
God.
incompetence are truly fascinating. And in order to cover all of it, we're going to need to go through every piece of content that Shadiversity makes, from his media takes to his sword content to his artwork. There are so many ways in which
Artwork.
Shadiversity has failed, and each and every one of them
Oh boy.
could be the reason why Shadiversity's channel has fallen apart. From giving up everything for an alt-right grift to AI
Yeah, see? AI grift. I mean, far-right grift. Whatever. AI grift is also a grift.
activism to his insecurity around his little brother. We're going to be talking about the
Oh my god, I forgot about the whole little brother thing. I forgot that his little brother did not want to be associated with him. I completely forgot about that.
sordid tale of Shad M. Brooks. Oh boy. You guys have been requesting this one for a while, and babes, I'm happy to deliver. Without further ado, what the hell happened?
We have criticisms when people want to hijack brains and things where you like to push political messages when they really should be apolitical. Like Eminem, why on earth do they need to be political?
Shad lies. If you criticize Shad, he will lie about you and paint you as the devil.
What is his
so
artwork?
9 on 10 to...
Listen, I do artwork, okay? So what about, I'm gonna show you. I do artwork. I'm gonna show you my artwork. Can I show it here? Here you go. This is an artwork that I did. Or this one. Ta-da!
11
It's not
years
AI
ago,
generated.
Shadiversity started his channel as just a standard nerdy sword channel. He talked about a bunch of things, actually. Sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes, just whatever he was interested in. It's definitely early YouTube content. Unedited talking head with no script, barely any professionalism.
A lot of those were like that before they decided to become far-right grifters because they figured out that's what pays most. That still seems to be the case. Being a far-right grifter still seems to be the best paying
Man,
gift.
I'm gonna be honest,
grift.
guys. I completely understand why people like this. I mean, it's definitely charming. There's a big part of me that misses this era of casual content creation. Just a really excited nerd talking about the stuff that he loves. This content built the bedrock of Shadiversity's career, and as his audience grew, he got to do more elaborate stuff. Elaborate on how chainmail works, showcase different types of swords. People were really interested in this content. Now, as I watch, I definitely noted that it's not the most scientific stuff out there, but I mean, come on.
No.
It's YouTube. We don't need to take everything so seriously. This guy's clearly having a good time, and his audience were happy to join him for the ride.
That's for
However,
long.
even in the golden era of Shadiversity's channel, when his content was exploding, he was reaching past that precious 7-figure mark of subscribers, there was some trouble brewing. You see, Shad did a lot of sword content, testing various types of blades and armor, and so inevitably, he began to overlap with the HEMA community. HEMA stands for Historical European Martial Arts. It is a sort of club sport where people test authentic medieval techniques used by real knights wielding heavy steel blades. It's some serious stuff. I certainly can't do it. Now, as a kid, I fenced against my dad, and I'd leave with sore ribs every time. I respect anyone that has the ability to practice HEMA because it takes effort, years of training and honing your body.
I remember having my ribs bruised, but neither here nor
It's
there.
impressive, but Shad had some interesting opinions about HEMA. It really blew up in his face, though, when he covered a video made by Matt Easton. Matt Easton was essentially explaining what HEMA is and what HEMA isn't on his own YouTube channel. He explained that HEMA is historical, that people who practice HEMA practice real historical techniques and wield appropriate material while doing so. If you're just swinging foam swords in your backyard, that is not the same as practicing HEMA. I think that's a perfectly reasonable point of view.
Okay.
Keep in mind that Matt Easton is absolutely qualified to talk about this because
Hey, how do they get those techniques? How do they learn them? Where do they get them from?
Matt invented the acronym.
So I was one of the founding members of HEMAT, the Historical European Martial Arts Coalition, and this was the first organisation to use HEMA in its name. And we had a very specific remit. We had a mission statement, and we knew what we were doing. We were all.
If I feel a bit less, if I feel even more low energy than usual, then it's because I'm, my stomach hurts. Also, my camera froze. Hold on. I just noticed. I see. Hold on. Nobody told me. There you go. Alright, now I can continue. If I feel even more low energy than usual, then that's because my stomach hurts a bit.
Accord. And so when we invented the term HEMA, we knew what HEMA meant.
Yeah, if you're gonna debate with anyone about the proper definition of HEMA, I'm pretty sure this guy is the last person you should be debating. But Shadiversity decided to try anyway.
Oh boy.
He made an extremely disproportionately long response video to Matt Easton. Keep in mind, Matt did not name anyone in that video.
Oh
he was not
boy.
trying to target any content creators. It's on Shadiversity that he took this general...
Shadiversity felt targeted. He felt targeted by the evil guy that invented the term.
video about the definition of HEMA so personally. And guys, this is the most Reddit argument video that's ever been posted to YouTube.
This exclusion starts with saying effective, viable techniques people discover through valid historical experimentation based on historical sources that are not written is not HEMA because many HEMA practitioners have created an arbitrary standard that is fundamentally different to the meaning of the word history.
God, if you're confused by the word salad, trust me, you're not the only one. I'll translate the idiocy for you. Shadiversity is upset that HEMA is historical, that they are strictly practicing historical techniques. He thinks that we should be allowed to innovate, to experiment, to do things based on real history. I mean, we are blessed to have actual historical accounts and sources that we can directly take for our reenactments, but I mean, we can be a bit more creative, right?
Instead, they appeal to many period-written sources, which in themselves are an incredible resource we are very lucky to have, but use them as an exclusionary standard, claiming that if it is not in the sources, it is not HEMA.
Look, I want to make it clear. There's nothing wrong with creativity. We're a Dungeons & Dragons channel, for Christ's sake. We're not practicing realism here. But HEMA is historical. Shadiversity accuses Matt Easton and other HEMA practitioners of being gatekeepers, but that's so stupid. Matt Easton is not gatekeeping HEMA. Gatekeeping is when you keep someone out for an arbitrary or dumb reason.
Right.
Like if Matt Easton were to say that women can't practice HEMA because...
Isn't that the whole point of the thing, for it to be historically accurate? And then Shadiversity is like, but why though?
They're the fairer sex, then yeah, that would be gatekeeping. But that's not what he's saying. He's just saying that if you want to practice HEMA, historical European martial arts, you need to practice accurate historical martial arts. What Shad is saying is that he wants to call himself an NBA basketball player even if he only shoots on the kiddie hoops. And I'm being pretty serious about that because remember when I mentioned that Matt Easton talked about
What?
foam swords in the backyard? Well,
Yeah.
that's part of the video that Shad took incredibly personally.
Oh my god. Did he use foam swords?
Matt's example of two people simply sparring with foam longswords in the back garden and do not do anything else apart from sparring, that such a pursuit is not HEMA, is wrong and framed very poorly, but I will expound more on this soon. What I want to address first is that people have assumed he is referring to me by this statement.
Do I really need to explain the difference between wielding foam swords and wielding actual steel? Come on, man. They're not even close to the same thing. Again, there's nothing wrong with wielding foam swords in your backyard for fun or for videos, for content. It's great. but it's not HEMA, and that's okay.
Okay, no wonder that Shadiversity fell off. Okay, I thought that he just fell off because he was a right-wing hack, but I guess he had more problems than just that. I guess he had more issues. He had more demons.
Hey. Now, Shad just tried to counter this point by saying that he has wielded real steel before, but there's a
Real
HEMA blog
foam
that
steel.
gives some context to that. When saying he doesn't limit himself to foam swords, he is yet again replaying the same video from 2017 of him fencing a young HEMA guy who had done an hour of longsword a week for a few months, and he was kind enough to agree to fence him for fun on that day. This is an opponent he cherry-picked, while declining to fence in a similar way with any of the more experienced fencers, or even reenactors who were there. This footage gets brought out time and time again to support the idea that he frequently fences steel longsword with other HEMA folk. Yet, where do we see him presenting the outcomes of his system?
Wait, so a lot of these weapons that he presents in his YouTube videos foam?
Fencing with the broader HEMA community in Australia, or coming to the many tournaments and events that have been run in Melbourne, just a couple hours from him.
Is he
It's true,
Australian?
a short time after the video was
Shadiversity
taken,
Australian?
he came to his only actual HEMA event, all the way back in 2017. Though again, he didn't cross swords with anyone, acting almost exclusively as an observer, not as a participant. Oh my god. The comments under that video that Shad made were rough. It got so bad he had to pin a comment that was being nice to him, which, guys, that's not the last time you're gonna hear about that. And it's also not the last time that Shad's gonna take a general video made by an actual martial artist incredibly personally, because yeah, he didn't learn his lesson. He did this crap again. Welcome back to the stage, Cell Sword Arts.
Oh no.
Shadiversity.
I know this content creator. I actually saw some of their video. They're pretty nice. I was afraid that this person might be a right-wing hack secretly, but it seems not to be the case. So this person also had a beef with Shadiversity?
He decided to beef with Cell Sword Arts. We already talked about him in the intro, but he's not just a big sword YouTuber running a new D&D show. This guy is a very accomplished HEMA fighter. He participates in tournaments, he goes to public events. Unlike Shad, this dude is actually in shape and actually fences. Again, of all the people to debate about HEMA, I would not try to debate this guy. Now, for more context, Cell Sword Arts has long
I'm actually surprised that I'm familiar with this content creator. I'm actually surprised that I'm familiar with any of them. Because I don't go out of my way to look for sword YouTube.
Shadiversity's channel by this point. But earlier in the timeline, when this whole controversy went down, Cell Sword Arts was a smaller YouTube channel. And like Matt Easton before him, he did not talk directly about Shadiversity. Cell Sword made a general video about armchair warriors. People who don't fence, who don't wield steel, who don't go to actual tournaments, who don't know much about fighting.
I don't think I need to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Oh boy.
Anime, video games, pop culture, and all those things are not accurately representing swordsmanship. It's cool, it's fun, and it's enjoyable to watch, but that's not the way that swords would have actually been used. But because most
Thank you, Maya Mayor, for a tier 4. Lucy will pay for what you've done. I'm addicted to Jovan clips now. Oh. Hello, Maya Mayor. Well, we can watch a Jovan clip. We can watch a Jovan debate. Also, hello. Thank you for the tier 4. Now I can buy some food. Kind of. I have to still transfer the money to my bank account. But then I can buy food. Thank you.
popular content creators who do things about swords are courting that audience, they tend to couch things in terms of those anime techniques or things like that.
I've actually run out of money completely, okay? This is... This tier 4 is my only money that I possess now. Which is no good because I also need money for my ticket to Poland to go back to Fido for a bit. But yes, hello. Thank you.
How many videos have you seen kind of breaking down video game sword fighting and things like that? It's interesting, it's fun to watch, but the conversation is dominated by that, to the point where it's really hard to find realistic swordsmanship unless you know where to look.
They're not actually practical or real. And
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Video game fighting is not realistic. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with the steak?
When we're talking about fencing, we should be listening to people who, you know
what they're
actually
talking
fence.
about?
Basically, if you want to learn basketball, maybe learn from somebody who plays basketball rather than someone who plays 2K. I think that's a
Rather than
perfectly
from Kuroko no Basket. That would be my... Don't learn basketball from Kuroko no Basket, okay? Don't do it. Don't do that. Okay? That's not the way you will learn good basketball.
based and reasonable perspective from somebody who clearly knows what he's talking about. But once again, Shad decided to take this very general video about armchair warriors and do the classic self-own, thinking that it was personally made to attack him.
Not only does he say that he is encouraging people to not watch other certain content creators.
But today I want to talk to you guys about what makes good sword content and who you should and shouldn't listen to. So how do you, the viewer, know when a presenter is worth listening?
Oh no.
He doesn't mention who, but it's pretty clear he's talking about us and a couple.
Me. It's really clear that he's talking about me in particular. Specifically me.
Of others.
Oh my god, this response video is again disproportionately long and incredibly desperate. Shad is fishing for validation at every second of this embarrassing response. He tries to debunk sellsword arts with various gotchas counteracting his points, when in truth, Shadiversity is blatantly taking sellsword arts clips completely out of context just to make himself look better.
Oh,
Some of
boy.
my videos were clipped in such a way that it loses necessary context. The second clip that Shad uses is of me using a foam sword after I make the point that foam swords are not a good approximation of steel swords. They start with foam. In the video that he's showing a clip from, I very explicitly talk about how this is not a true test of this technique because true steel greatswords are too dangerous to fight with.
So after we did our experiment, first we have to note that these swords are not steel swords. They do not react like a steel sword would. This is a thought experiment. It is not even proof.
Dude, if you're so righteous, you wouldn't have to do that. Sellsword Arts comfortably ratioed Shad with a long-form response video as well as a short-form response video that got over 1 million views. Shad tried to respond.
Okay, rationing is not a thing on YouTube, okay? YouTube is not Twitter.
I mean, I'm sorry, anyone who is serious about swordplay can look at the situation just plainly on the surface and realize who knows what he's talking about and who doesn't.
The people who we might be referring to specifically
Oh
to
my
defend
God.
themselves. And
I mean, Shadiversity is too busy being a right-wing grifter to learn how to fence. So that tracks.
It's a video that you're not in.
us specifically.
You're defending yourself.
Oh my god, Westside Tyler is in this? I did not expect Westside Tyler to be in this video. Okay, another lunatic.
Video that got over 1 million views. Shad tried to respond, but I mean, I'm sorry, anyone who is serious about swordplay can look at the situation just
Wait, hold on. Is Westside Tyler a fencer as well?
plainly on the surface and realize who knows what he's talking about and who doesn't.
The people who we might be referring to specifically to defend themselves. And I know
It's a video that you're not in.
us specifically.
You're defending
the criticisms
yourself
he
right
mentions
now.
in that video.
But his self-serious attitude is just so plainly pathetic. It's so hard to take seriously because he doesn't need to do any of this. There's nothing inherently wrong with being a hobbyist who just engages with this through fantasy. There's nothing wrong with that at all. He built a career off of it. And none of these people, Matt Easton, Sellsword, none of them, they're not trying to say that this content is immoral or bad or shouldn't be made.
It's
just
immoral,
people should
bad, and shouldn't be made. Here, I'm saying it, okay? This content is immoral, bad, and should not be made.
understand the kind of content that Shadiversity makes. It's not realistic, and that is fine. Look, I'm not trying to be mean here. Just use the evidence of your own eyes and ears. Look at Shadiversity and just try your best to take him even somewhat seriously. In this clip,
Oh, let's see it again. Oh boy.
somewhat
What a dork.
seriously. in this clip of the super serious HEMA fighter, Shadiversity. Shad is fighting with a double-bladed Darth Maul lightsaber sword, trying to prove that this is actually a practical device that would be great to use in real combat. He has terrible footwork, his stances are a mess, his sword bends the moment it touches the ground, meaning it's probably a lightweight foil. And, oh my god, the worst part is, when this fight is done, by fight I mean Shad awkwardly swings around while barely moving his feet. When the fight is done, listen to Shad breathing.
So they said you can't really do winding and binding. But in that exchange, I wound into your guard.
Oh my god. Really, dude? You didn't do anything. Like, I'm not trying to body shame Shad here, okay?
Oh boy.
He does not need to be super buff and work out all the time, all right? He can do whatever he wants. But if he wants to lecture and hate on actual athletes who practice HEMA as a lifestyle, I don't know, man. You should at least try to be a bit in shape and try to know just a little bit about what you're talking about. And I know many of you who are unfamiliar with Shadiversity might be thinking, Crispy, you're being really mean here. And I would respond to that by pointing out that when Shadiversity responded to Cell Sword Arts, at the time a smaller YouTuber, Shad made sure to link Cell Sword's video at the top of his description. Look, as commentary YouTubers, that is really bad practice. You could say, oh,
No.
it's to give context what I'm saying so we can show both sides of the story, but let's all be real. What results when you do that is harassment. And look at the harassment that Cell Sword Arts got.
Yes, I have been deleting comments because we've been getting hundreds of comments that are inappropriate, slurs.
Thanks for making this video, and I don't have to feel guilty about blocking you from my feed. Good luck with your gender transition. It's always about trans issues, isn't it? If you're 39, if you're 3'9" and you use a long sword, does that by default become a great sword? What was it like training with Merry and Pippin? Was Aragorn a patient teacher? What does Gandalf really smoke in his... What the fuck?
And
Is
other
he
things
saying
that
his
are
short? Manlet looking as gobbling out there trying to start some drama. Get bent.
not allowed on my PG channel. I'm out in public. I go to a lot of events, tournaments, Renaissance Fest.
He doesn't even look so... he doesn't even look like such a short person. That's weird. He doesn't even look like he's super short.
Festivals, workshops, and I meet my fans, and I don't want to be associated with that kind of negativity.
Slurs upon slurs, the armchair 4chan audience that Shadiversity has built for himself. And I think that that brings us nicely on to our next point. This episode is sponsored by Cheipeku. And I know, you guys have heard about Cheipeku so many times, but there's a good reason as to why. They make incredible maps for all sorts of TTRPGs. Not only that, but they also have an extensive collection of tokens too, allowing you to customize both monsters and NPCs for your games. But if you're someone who doesn't play in the typical fantasy world, if you want something a bit more on the sci-fi side, well guess what? Cheipeku now have the complete sci-fi bundle for you to purchase. If you want all of their sci-fi maps, tokens, and scenes, then you can get them.
Hello, Incub. Also, you're white. Aww. I'm also broke.
Them all buckled under one subscription. The sci-fi and fantasy bundles are two of the best deals in the entire industry. So don't wait. You could be taking your game to the next level right now. If you guys are interested in supporting...
I'm not gonna skip the sponsorship because this person doesn't seem like a crappy content creator. I'll only skip the sponsorship for crappy content creators. This person has, how do I say, I don't know. This person has some charity from me. Learning Shad is Jazz's older brother was like learning Darth Vader was Luke's father.
Incredible human-made, high-quality art. You can head down to the description down below where you will find Cheipeku sci-fi and fantasy bundles. Thank you so much to Cheipeku for sponsoring today's episode. As always, supporting our sponsors does support us. And without further ado, back to the tea.
A white knight.
So, the Shadiversity channel is chugging on. At this point in the timeline, we've exited the pandemic. We're in the earlier 2020s. He's not in the red just yet, but unbeknownst to many, there was another channel. Enter Night's Watch.
But in terms of the overall, it's a patriarchal system that's oppressing that women can never be CEOs.
Oh no. The anti-feminist crap, of course.
They get in government and stuff like that. Bullcrap. Absolute nonsense.
The far-right
That's what
crap.
people used to depict.
In most countries, women in rural areas who work for wages are more likely than men to hold season.
Night's Watch is Shadiversity's media critique channel, and just looking at some of the earliest videos, I mean, you can get the theme here. Loki emasculates the god of mischief. Yeah, this is another anti-woke slop channel, but early on, this wasn't really hurting Shad's career. I mean, you know what? That is how people make their money. Shad is an Australian Mormon, which should have been red flag number 1. True. Might be thinking why.
What's wrong with those Australian content creators? We have Burying, and now we have Shadiversity.
Shad's career, a lot of anti-woke slop is pretty successful, though I will point out that Shad started out his channel as a sword YouTuber. If you want to build up an anti-woke slop channel, you kind of need to start at that base. Look at the Quartering, look at Nerdrotic. They've kind of always been who they are. Shad started more neutral and then revealed a more extreme political perspective.
That's like Chad Logic. Chad Logic started as a Marxist, as a leftist, as a Chad Logic started as a progressive content creator, and then he just switched, and now he is, I don't even know what Chad Logic is now.
Inherently will alienate some of your audience. However, that didn't really happen early on. I think the first reason is because in the early 2020s, Shad was critiquing media that frankly sucked. I mean, obviously, I disagree with the anti-woke stances about Kenobi, about The Acolyte, about She-Hulk. Those shows don't suck because of women and black people. Those shows suck because they suck. And therefore, there's going to be less pushback against Shad when he calls out those shows as bad, even if his
Was Kenobi that bad? I don't even know if Kenobi was all that bad.
Are a little unhinged. The other reason I think that Shad didn't get a lot of pushback for this channel, though, is because, frankly, no one was paying attention. Look at these early viewership metrics. They are pretty damn low, especially compared to his main channel, where he was comfortably getting hundreds of thousands to millions of views. Nobody was paying attention to this, so he just didn't get a lot of pushback. That changed over the course of a few years, though, and I think it especially changed in 2023 with the release of the Mario movie trailer.
Mushroom Kingdom here.
Yeah. That movie was pretty okay, I think. I haven't seen it, of course. Well, not of course. I just haven't seen it, but it seems that it wasn't that bad. People just were really trying. People were trying really forcing the critique in this movie.
Here we come.
This was, to my knowledge, the first time Shad got some real big pushback on Night's Watch. He reacted to the Mario movie trailer and had some fascinating things to say.
You don't have a whip out, pants.
Yeah, of course. They were crying about Peach's outfit. I remember now. God damn. Apparently it's an outfit from some game. I think it's from Mario Kart or whatever. Point is, it's just an established outfit for the character.
Princess Peach's motorcycle outfit is too masculine because she wears pants?
Princess Peach, give it a pants.
What are you talking about? Also, he's talking as if this was added into the movie to emasculate Mario, make Peach a Mary Sue hero. Bro, this is an iconic outfit that has existed for years. Everyone who plays Mario knows about this. Does Chad not play Mario? Well, I mean, seemingly that is the case because other takes in this video include Bowser being turned into a simp, despite the fact that that's been Bowser's characterization since Bowser's frickin' inception, Mario being emasculated, even though Mario has never been the most macho hero in the world. Come on, it's Mario, dude.
Thoughts? Traditional male hero being made look like a goofy idiot, and the female character.
What the fuck? Mario was not the best. Mario's not the best property to do this sort of crap with, I agree.
And he's such an idiot, why do I have to put up with it? Holy crap, this is freaking going woke.
Shadiversity crashed out over the Mario movie trailer, and even his audience were raising their eyebrows as to why. Now, I want to make it clear that Shad was not the only right-winger having a freak out over the Mario movie. I mean, it was
Let me guess, Yellow Flash, whatever.
amongst many of their ilk, but Shadiversity definitely was one of the people who got the most pushback over it, especially because of Jack Saint. Jack Saint made a response video just generally to the anti-woke Mario phenomenon. However, he predominantly featured footage from Night's Watch and relentlessly mocked Chad for clearly not knowing what the hell he's talking about.
This is the thing that frustrates me with this, is this outfit in particular. I believe it's from Mario Kart Wii. And then, as you know in the movie, they're riding on the carts. So she's dressed up to ride a motorcycle, which is a bit difficult to do in a dress.
Shadiversity decided to try and push back against this, including the thing about Peach's pants. Like, at this point, he definitely should know that this is an iconic outfit from the games that was put into the movie. This wasn't added to masculinify Peach, but he still tries to defend his point in his rambly, word salad nonsense way.
Scummy, lying, dishonest. We don't think the movie wasn't even out! You're a genius! You're a very smart person!
I think it's precious that you think it's like laughable to sort of poke fun at you because you saw Peach in pants and without context got upset about it. Shad.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty pathetic, actually. But it's typical for anti-woke videos, so it's on brand.
Unfortunate reality is, in this case, people think it's funny that that was your reaction and that you needed justification later on for Princess Peach's pants.
Jack Saint then made a second video exclusively about Shadiversity, debunking everything he says point by point and getting comfortably over 600,000 views. To my knowledge, Shad never responded to this video, and if he did, it definitely didn't get that many views because I looked and it's nowhere to be seen. However,
Whoops.
Chad did not learn his lesson here. This event, I think, really got the ball rolling on turning Shad into the lolcow he is today. It is around 2023 when the Shad Watch subreddit started to gain traction and eclipse the official Shadiversity subreddit that exists on the platform. Shad Watch...
Oh yeah, also my birthday is in 2 days. Okay? Listen, on the 28th of February, it is my birthday. Did you know this about me? Did you know my secret? I'll be 97 in 2 days. I'll be a 97-year-old. It's true. I'll be old.
exists exclusively to mock Shadiversity. Its whole community relentlessly finds every piece of content that he makes and picks it apart piece by piece. And while I did not use the subreddit for information, since Reddit is probably not the best source for videos like this, I did use it for some laughs. And I gotta say, keep up the good work, my fellow haters. However, even with all this happening, Shad decided to take an even riskier swing at another very popular film, that one being James Gunn's Superman. And
what? Yeah. I actually watched Superman, okay? I liked James Gunn's Superman. Say whatever you want, okay? Say whatever you want. I liked James Gunn's Superman.
This is somehow worse than the Mario movie one.
It doesn't give me the, oh, I want to see what possibly could have defeated Superman. This is making me thinking, like, this is the presentation, the depiction of Superman you want people to notice first and foremost. It makes me worry that it potentially could be a deconstructionist, approach to Superman, or they're going to break...
What?
Actually, do you think that was the most Superman acting Superman in recent memory on the big screen?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This trailer reaction. It's long, rambling, nonsensical, and extremely overly loud. What you'd expect from
Yes, everybody cried that Superman was depicted as an immigrant, which is kind of true, but he is one.
Shadiversity, but there were two moments that stood out, at least to me. One, Shadiversity's weird hatred of Crypto, the superdog, a staple of super...
I loved Crypto. I loved him in this movie, especially since I am now a Fido owner, okay? I loved Crypto because he acts like Fido. Fido acts like Crypto acted like in this movie towards me, but Fido is not a small little doggy. Fido is a big German Shepherd, so you can imagine how that looks like.
Superman
comments. But yeah, Fido actually acts towards me like Crypto does towards Superman, with the biting, with the pulling of the sleeve, etc. So I found it very endearing.
It's been around for a long time. Shad thinks it's cringe and dumb.
A super dog? Come on, am I the only one who thinks Crypto is a dumb thing? And
yes,
and when you're adapting it, you kind of would want to avoid the dumb stuff. I mean,
it's a cute dog, man. Do you not own dogs? Do you not have like joy in your life, or are you okay? But the even more insane part of this reaction is something that most people probably didn't see, because it's at the very end of this overly long video. At the very end, Shadiversity goes to an article written responding to the trailer with some comments from James Gunn himself, the director of the movie. Shad does not read the article on camera. He doesn't even take a cursory look at the actual quote in the article. In this video, Shad just looks at the title of the article, looks at the snippets of quotes from James Gunn in the title of the article, and then reacts to that, concluding that the new Superman movie is going to be similar to Game of Thrones?
But if I wasn't a reviewer, I would...
What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What a dumbass.
Probably pass on this completely. It's like, you guys, you're not doing Superman. You're wanting to do some edgy or deconstruction bullcrap, Game of Thrones nihilistic trash.
But on camera, him reacting to just snippets of the quote and coming to that...
What? I don't know if you've seen that Superman movie, but it was nothing like Game of Thrones. It was not nihilistic at all. It was nothing like that.
Unhinged conclusion about 2025's Superman. Oh, also, Shad did that thing again where he pins a comment being nice to him because all the other comments are mocking his stupid opinions.
Oh my
Amazing.
god.
It was glorious. Now, many people have torn apart Shad's Superman takes and his Mario takes, including Anthony Gramuglia. This guy comments on a lot of my videos, and I've tried my best to figure out how to pronounce his name. It's just not happening for me, guys. I'm really sorry. Anyway, Ant made a reaction stream to Shad's reaction stream of the trailer. He tore apart what Shad said. And look, at this point, Shad's learned his lesson. When he responded to Jack Saint, he just made things a hell of a lot worse for himself. He became a laughing stock. I mean, no one wants to do that twice. And
I thought his main fault was that he was I mean, that is part of it, but I thought his main thing was that he was a right-wing grifter. I thought that was his main lolcow element. I mean, it seems like it's a big part of it, like attacking the Mario movie, attacking the Superman movie, and forcing the whole right-wing thing on it.
He was not about to make the same mistake. Shad took a deep breath, acted like a grown man, and allowed two people to have two different opinions on the Superman movie.
No.
Nah, I'm just kidding. He made a 2-hour
Of course not. That would have been too normal.
live stream about it.
It's exactly that argument. This is a retarded nonsense argument. There are, of course, fantastical, non-realistic things that are justified the world building and make sense for the adaptation, and things that don't do that thing. I don't want little Superman shooting out Superman's arms either. That was in the old comic books. Thanos is cocked up. I don't want that exactly perfectly. That's silly stuff. There's a lot of silly dumb things. But it's just so funny that Anthony is like, look, I can't believe you accept this.
That was... Jesus, this guy might be worse than Lily Orchard. Well, let me go watch Lily Orchard. I just give you a comparison. Yeah, never mind. Lily Orchard's still worse, but Shad's pretty bad. Anthony, though, he was not done. I mean, he took down the aforementioned Lily Orchard. He can take down Shad, too. This is just another body. So, he made another live stream and comfortably ratioed Shad once more.
Shad lies. If you criticize Shad, he will lie about you and paint you as the devil. I do not feel good about that. I don't feel good about a guy going around with a much larger channel in theory, attacking critics that he sees as small potatoes who can bully into submission.
I think this final stream absolutely destroyed whatever reputation Night's Watch had left, because after this, the Night's Watch channel just collapsed. I mean, I don't know if it was directly caused by all these people making fun of Shad, but I'm sure it didn't help. The channel at this point gets pennies in terms of revenue, with only a few thousand views to its name. Night's Watch is thankfully in the ground, but Shad has kept the ball rolling on other platforms, including Twitter, the platform currently known as Twitter. He posts just the most unhinged things, and it makes his earlier complaints about gatekeeping in HEMA the most hilarious of ironies. The sad thing is, most girls still don't like it because the fundamental DNA of weapons and adventure is still there, just made lame and non-violent. And girls are just not into that kind of thing, as much as boys. And the girls that are liked it the way it was, not the pussified version of it. There's nothing wrong with the fact most girls like romance stories such as Twilight or Pride and Prejudice. They don't need to like D&D or Star Wars, and in spite of the efforts, no one can make them. And there's nothing wrong with boys liking the idea of slaying scary orcs. In fact, that's a good thing. I love how Shad is pretending in that tweet like he's protecting girls from liking Dungeons & Dragons. Those horrible liberals are forcing women to enjoy D&D.
What?
What would we do without white knights like Shad? Look, I'm going to end this segment with something a bit serious, so feel free to skip to the next one. This isn't super relevant to the rest of the video, but this is how unhinged Shad acts when he's talking about stupid nerd stuff. Look, I love D&D and Star Wars and fantasy and sci-fi and all that stuff. It's cool, all right? But at the end of the day, it's, it's games, it's movies, it's TV. It's not the most serious stuff. What happens when Shad is actually talking about serious political events? Well...
Oh boy. What event is he going to be talking about? ICE? What is he going to do? Charlie Kirk thing? What are we in store for?
It gets worse, dude.
Because our politicians are doing nothing. Not even that. They're actively taking measures to make it worse. Our retarded Prime Minister's response to this is like, oh, you know what will fix it? We'll take away more of Australian rights in their guns so they won't be able to defend themselves when another attack happens. You friggin' retard!
Jesus Christ almighty. The Australian political pundit that you all didn't know you needed, but you all know that you deserved. Okay?
Hey guys, it's Ed and Crispy jumping in here just to talk about this whole situation and to give you a little bit more context as to what Shadiversity is talking about here.
Yes, please.
He's talking about a shooting that took place on the Bondi Beach in Australia. It took the lives of many, many people. It was a terrible tragedy. And of course, Shad is using this event, exploiting this event, to try and beg the Australian government to give him more guns. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, to be quite frank. Look, this is coming from somebody who has a concealed carry license, who owns more guns than Shad ever has, and likely Shad ever will. Do you want Shad M. Brooks to be roaming around your streets with a firearm?
No.
Shad is a clearly emotionally unstable man who is incapable of regulating his anger. He carries extremist political views, including fantasizing about violence against protesters that he doesn't like.
What?
But more importantly than any of that,
So like Asmongold.
probably doesn't know the trigger from the magazine release from the safety. Shad doesn't care about learning about these weapons. as clearly demonstrated during the HEMA segment. I mean, he doesn't care to learn the complexities of real sword work. Do you think he cares to learn the complexities of wielding a firearm?
No.
Do you want this?
Politicians are retards!
Walking around with a gun?
No.
Shad M. Brooks,
No.
in my opinion, is the reason why governments need to institute strict gun control laws. Look, this is a dark segment, so I'm going to end this off with something. One hero who put his life on the line to save his neighbors. This man is named Ahmed El Ahmed, and he is a Syrian immigrant. He saw the gunman, and he risked everything to save the people around him. He didn't have a gun, he didn't have a knife, he didn't have anything. He just had his hands. This is what hero looks like. If you take away nothing from this video, I want you to remember this man's name, I want you to remember his face, and I want you to remember his words.
But you risked your life for strangers.
I risk my life for innocent human being. I can't call them stranger because they are a human being like me, like you.
This is what a hero looks like. This is what a man looks like. This is what Shad could never be.
Wait, Shadiversity got a gun?
This is probably how you know Shadiversity, his incredibly awful takes about artificial intelligence.
Oh no.
Now, if all of the above didn't
Oh,
turn Shad
no.
into a little cow, this absolutely is what
Oh,
pushed
no.
him off the edge. On October 23rd,
no.
2023, Shad released his video, My Love Letter to AI Art. And, oh boy.
Oh
It
boy,
opens
indeed.
with Shad showing off some pieces of art that he made himself. And, you know, art is subjective. Art is sacred. And no matter what you think about the
It looks like
quality
a-
of this art, you gotta admit that this is something that Shad
He made?
sat down and made himself.
Himself,
And I got a
yeah.
lot of respect for anyone who does that. But Shad's got a different point of view. You see, he looks at this art and sees something primitive. His art was monotonous to make. He hates the process of drawing on a piece of paper. I mean, it takes such
can
a
get a
long time.
tablet.
He doesn't want to do the work. He just wants the end result.
It was a great revelation to me later on in life. It wasn't actually the physical, mechanical movement of drawing that I was actually enjoying, but it was the creation of something. There was some relaxation found in the methodical kind of movements of scraping a pencil along paper, but the true artistic satisfaction was in what I was creating.
That is an insane thing for someone to admit, just like on camera. But
That's
it gets
true.
even worse because obviously
I
Shad
actually,
hates the work.
I actually get the opposite. I actually like the motions. I actually like the process. It relaxes me. The way you move your hand, etc. That's the part that I actually do like about drawing. I do it when I do timestamps, for example, for segments. I usually draw while listening to the.
Of making art. He just wants the art itself. So naturally, AI art is a great solution for him. It's art without any of the effort or work ethic.
Easier to a
Or
higher
control.
level of quality. So as you can imagine, any technology that grants this same benefit, I am very, very interested in.
Same
Hence my
benefit.
interest in AI art generators.
But Shad is not just your standard AI artist. He is
Oh,
not
no.
like other girls. You see, unlike all these other creators of slop, Shad has a real artistic eye.
Mind.
He understands anatomy and body proportions and how to...
I've developed a very keen eye for proportion and detail, and I have applied that in every artistic pursuit in whatever medium I'm using.
God. Listening to him talk about his incredible artistic skills while also showing off his art is... Oh my god. Is there a simile for embarrassing? Because I'm going to use that word a lot more in this video.
Hold on.
Oh my... So
Applied that in every artistic pursuit in whatever medium I'm using.
God. Listening to him talk about his incredible artistic skills while also showing off his art is... Oh my God. Is there a simile for embarrassing? Because I'm going to use that word a lot more in this video. But when it comes to the actual AI, quote-unquote, art that he's making, it doesn't look any different. I mean, Shad pretends that this is some revolutionary process he's doing. He's unlocking the potential of AI.
There are many people who use AI art who have seen my images that I've made with this technology and have literally asked, how on earth do I produce these results? They see a difference in the quality that I'm able to achieve versus the quality that they have been able to achieve.
Oh
Shad,
my God.
You're making the same slop as everyone else. Nothing
This is
about
so fucking embarrassing. Oh my God, this is so fucking embarrassing. Things that I am able to achieve versus the things that the pleb is able to. Oh my God, Shadiversity is more embarrassing. This is more embarrassing even than his right-wing grift, honestly.
this is special. I mean, look at this woman's head. Oh my God, that is so disproportionate to the rest of your body. And you're telling me that this is some revolutionary piece that Shad's put together? The rest of the video is Shad describing his technique for making this higher plane AI art.
I want to know what the
better
process
artists than
is.
me have torn this video apart.
And as someone who's dabbled with these things in order to understand them, I can tell you that he's not very good at it. For starters, there are way too many parameters here. This is a throw everything at the wall and see what sticks approach. With so many parameters, none of them is weighted very heavily, so how can you tell how much any part of it is really contributing to the image? That's why he's using the parentheses to add weight, but I can also tell you that aside from one instance, he's not even using those effectively. Instead of adding additional parentheses to increase the weight of a particular part of the prompt, you have far more control with using numerical values, not just nested parentheses. There are also numerous typos, weird colors,
My hot take is defending AI and being right-wing are linked.
and model shoot is one word. How much can this represent your vision if you're feeding it words that don't make sense? You might as well slam your hand on the keyboard for some of these and see how it affects your output.
With that being said, there are some things I want to highlight. For starters, the piece that he's making is big booby AI Gooner art of his actual wife.
What?
Look, at the very least, I assume she consented to this.
No way. No
AI
way.
Gooner art of his actual wife.
No fucking way. Really? This is actually why. What?
Look, at the very least, I assume she consented to this. There are other AI artists who don't care as much about that. But we're going to ignore the questionable implications of what he's making and just focus on the process itself. Shad, during this video, describes in such vivid detail how much work he puts into this AI art while also showing the process. And look, again, evidence of your eyes and ears.
This literally feels like me making changes on a canvas with a brush. And based on the results, I go back into the prompt, changing it, making greater weight and differences, continually refining towards the result that I want.
I mean, he pretends like his Photoshop mock-ups of his art is what guides the AI, makes the art truly art. But, I mean, he doesn't even know how to properly use Photoshop. I mean, look at how he uses the smudge tool. God, can you not adjust the opacity so you don't get that weird artifacting, Shad? Come on. This is Photoshop 101. You don't even know how to do this? But of course, you don't see that in the final product because the AI is redoing all of Shad's mistakes for him. Also, looking at the prompts that Shad puts into the AI, they are just... I love how he puts in stuff like good anatomy because, yeah, that's going to fix all the problems with AI. And even the final product that Shad puts out, yeah, that's going to fix all the...
Where's the good anatomy? Where is it? Young woman flying in the sky, golden blonde hair, female girl. Where is... I don't see... Fair legs, yellow belt, perfect anatomy. What the fuck? Perfect anatomy. It's not even good anatomy. I see it here. It's between armor and full body. Perfect anatomy.
The problems with AI. And even the final product that Shad puts out, it's still hilariously bad. I mean, the lighting is coming from the wrong direction. The sun is behind her. She is both backlit and frontlit in this image. But Shad, because he doesn't know anything about art, he doesn't even realize this. This is by far the worst reception Shad has ever gotten to a YouTube video. Once again, he pins a comment being nice to him because the rest of them are just tearing him apart. It's not just random fans, it's also a bunch of artists who flock to this video to mock how plainly ridiculous it is for Shad to call himself an artist while he's having a theft machine do all the work for him. But Shad, as always, is completely incapable of admitting fault. You'd think after this public humiliation, he would just shut up, make his gooner art in private, and leave the rest of us alone, but nope. He actually made an entire series dedicated to how amazing AI art is. Over on Shad's Twitter, he would also be trying to proclaim the greatness of AI art, even going so far as to try and call out Studio Ghibli. The Ghibli art style is plain uninspired. The actual reason people love it is because of the quality of stories the style has been attached to and the fluidity and details of the animation it appears in, not the style itself. I get it has an innocent charm to it, hence the fun depicting controversial images in it, but that does not make the style itself anything special when separated from those stories. When it's separated from those stories it's been used in and the quality of the animation.
Oh my god.
Chad,
and then he shows very generic AI love next to it.
Screenshot of hand-drawn animated artwork. That's like taking a pixel of a painting and saying, I don't get what the big deal is. This is just a small portion of what makes Princess Mononoke so incredible. The fact that you don't even realize that just further demonstrates your own incompetence. Does he not realize that all of this is the definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect? I mean, god, he probably doesn't even know what the Dunning-Kruger effect is. Anyway, he did keep on making more arguments about AI, including posting his own
Hello, Vezon.
high quality AI artwork. And look, I'm sorry. I think all AI is bad, but the stuff the Shadiversity puts out, how does it look particularly worse than all the other slop that's out there? I've been watching a lot of isekai anime lately, and it put me in the mood.
Oh my god, of course, Shadowversity is a fan of isekai anime. Why am I even not surprised by this? What is the way this is? Solo Leveling is the best. Solo Leveling is not even an isekai anime.
To have an illustration made of a fantasy adventurer, and I had a lot of fun working with a more animated style with bigger eyes. My favorite part are her smile and expression, which I needed to manually shape, as with everything else in the image, but the smile took the most work. I put in the extra effort into the background of this one, and I love her sword, shield, and armor, which I designed myself, which shouldn't need to be said, but people just assume the AI does all the work, and it's quite the opposite with how I make my images. I literally made a 3D model for the sword, and I love its design. I think I'll illustrate a companion for her and add him to the image. You didn't illustrate jack shit.
Wait, I want to see.
I think I'll illustrate a companion.
What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Hello, Titan Uranus. Titan, are you familiar with a content creator called Shadiversity? Are you familiar with that genius?
You didn't illustrate jack shit. And frankly, if you made that expression on her face, you should be ashamed because, God, that is the most uncanny thing I've ever seen in my life. You should blame the AI for this. Don't take responsibility for this crime against my eyes.
Oh my god.
AI for this. Don't take responsibility.
I did this smile personally. It looks so psychotic. I will say one thing, okay? I will say that for some bizarre reason, AI is really good at creating psychotic smiles. Okay? I don't know what is it about AI, but whenever I see an AI video, AI is, I don't think it's on purpose even, but it's kind of good at creating those psychotic smiles. And this looks psychotic. This looks really psychotic.
For this crime against my eyes? Now, a lot of people have mocked Shadiversity's AI takes, as I've said before, but no one's really said it directly to his face, at least to my knowledge, until Shad went on a podcast with
No link between the eyes and mouth. I think that's the biggest issue.
Zachary Levi. Yeah, that one. Now look, I understand that Zachary Levi has kind of gone off the deep end. I definitely don't agree with everything Zachary Levi says, and I'm not here endorsing his views or anything like that. However, I am going to say that what Zachary says in this podcast clip, he's pretty based. Look, Zachary Levi, for all his faults, he is an actor. He's part of the arts, and he doesn't like AI any more than anyone else does. And when he goes on this podcast with a bunch of alt-right YouTubers, including freaking Nerdrotic, Jesus, he argues against AI and argues about why it's bad and talks about his own projects where he's going to fight for human-made art. And Shad decides to, open his fat mouth about it.
I'm kind of the AI guy on the.
Yeah.
You and me both, Shad.
That's funny. You sound like a real human.
Chad, keep it
He's from Australia.
Keep it under a couple minutes, Chad.
I will.
When freaking Nerdrotic is telling you to keep it under a couple minutes, does anybody actually like this guy? Anyway, Shad tries to level with Zachary Levi. He tries to argue that they're actually saying the same thing. Like, yeah, Zachary doesn't like AI slop, but he probably will like AI art. He's not anti-AI at all when...
And so I find it heartening that you're not like wholly against that. You can see that. No, there are use cases, absolutely.
I actually didn't say that. I think here's the thing: is that I don't know that I believe that. Like, I would love to believe that the most talented people will utilize AI in the most talented ways and therefore make the best AI projects. However,
Levi here tries to debunk two of Shad's arguments, and in my opinion, he succeeds with flying colors. First, Shad argues that AI is a tool, that only skilled people can really make it work. Levi counters by saying that AI is not a tool because it's not helping anyone with anything. It's doing the work for you. A baby.
It's basically just commissioning a software. It's like commissioning a software, basically. That is what making AI art is.
And two, Shadiversity argues that only the best AI will rise to the top. Levi counters with a point that he argues that even without AI, even with our current modern zeitgeist of streaming services and platforms, it's so hard to sort through to find underrated gems that you're going to enjoy. Everything is algorithmically based. The top 10 on Netflix, the top 10 action movies, blah, blah, blah. It's hard to find the really, really good stuff. Can you imagine how much worse it's going to be when these platforms are covered in AI slop? Again, I don't like Zachary Levi. Not one bit. But yeah, he cooked Shad here. And Shad's face throughout this. The strained, forced smile he gives is just adorable. But you might be wondering, why is he doing any of this? I mean, look, plenty of YouTubers have many interests that they don't put on their YouTube channel. Shadiversity is a sword YouTuber. Why is he talking about AI art? Can't he just shut his mouth?
Why is he why is he a right-wing grifter? I think it's like Inkub said in the chat, it's connected.
Cooked from all sides, even from within his own circles. People are
I think it's
him.
connected.
Why does he need to be an artist? Well, it's because his little brother is one of the biggest artists on the entire platform.
Oh boy. The brother thing. Finally, I'm gonna listen about the brother thing.
Jazza is a YouTuber with millions of subscribers. He's an incredibly talented artist, both digital art and pencil to paper art. He's made sculptures, he's made cosplays. His videos are high quality and incredible. The guy is one of the most liked YouTubers on the platform for a reason. You couldn't find a more uncontroversial man. And Jazza is Shadiversity's little brother. Now, publicly, Jazza and Shad aren't like beefing, at least not normally. But if you want a glimpse into what their relationship is like, I'm gonna flash back to a convention years past. Jazza and Shad were invited to a tabletop role-playing game. See, I told you TTRPGs would be relevant here. Look, Jazza and Shad in this game were given some pre-made characters based on themselves. And in this game, Jazza had a lot of points in art because he is a professional artist. And he had more points in art than Shad. And Shad did not like that.
What the
My
fuck?
artistry is actually at a professional level.
And we'll give him like martial arts. You weren't like Olympic level.
This is
martial arts.
professional. I'm not about. I think artistry should be.
There are a lot of people who are at a professional standard who can't work as an artist.
Yeah, but we're talking about skill, not, you know.
Oh
wanting
my
to-
god.
No, but
Oh my god.
Joss, you need to be very honest.
If you were to get, if I'm going to be very honest, I love you. I'd say appointing artist.
Well, no, because then you should get a point artist. We have our strengths and weaknesses, and you know what my strengths are in artistry. No.
What
the fuck? It's said with a huge amount of ignorance in regards to the publishing and writing.
I'm sure it is.
So,
I'm sure it is.
It is profoundly ignorant, that concept.
Be persuaded by
Hang on.
an artist writer.
So you're just giving it to me to try and satisfy me?
Somewhat, because you won't stop arguing. So
No,
that's
no, no.
okay.
Shadiversity is having a public meltdown because in a fantasy tabletop role-playing game, his brother has more art points than him.
What the fuck?
Is there another word for pathetic in the dictionary? Because I think I'm going to be using that
Sad.
one a lot too.
Sad,
It's so
I think.
sad because
There you
Jazz
go.
is clearly
You just
trying to
used it.
placate Shad. He
Sad.
tries over and over and over again to just calm his brother down. But Shad keeps on coming back to this argument. All the people who are watching them are clearly embarrassed and uncomfortable. I mean, Shad is trying to argue that I'm a professional artist too. I mean, I'm just as good as you. When, dude, I'm sorry, this is you. This is your brother.
Hold on. Oh my god. No way, bro. No way. Oh, ay.
Everyone knows who's better, okay? Everyone knows. It makes sense now why Shad wants AI to be normalized, why he wants people to like his AI art so badly, because this is clearly something he is very, very deeply insecure about.
Yeah, I
Character
agree.
anatomy.
I guess in terms of
proportion specifically.
we don't need to sit on this. We really don't. We can talk about this on the drive home. It's not applicable. We should play a game. This is not entertaining.
How's your battery doing?
Now, after this,
That was good. Let's just talk about this on the way home. Let's not talk about this now. This is not entertaining. Okay? This is not entertaining at all.
clip, there's not much on the public relationship between Jazza and Shad. They weren't interacting a ton in videos. Jazza did appear in some of Shadiversity's content, but it wasn't a frequent occurrence, and most people were happy to just pretend the two are unrelated and carry on with their lives. However, in late 2025, Shad put out this tweet. Quick question regarding cancel culture. Pretend you're a public figure and hated for being an anti-woke conservative, causing a friend who is also a public figure and disagree with those political views to disassociate with you, but only to the public, and they want to maintain the friendship in private while avoiding all public association. They will not mention you in public, except to condemn your views. They'll not appear with you in any collaborative appearance or let you in around their business, but want to communicate or spend time with you in private where they are convinced they have done nothing wrong, and this is a necessary action to protect their business and employees. Stuff like this happened to me. The most prominent one being when Matt Easton cut all ties with me. Bro, that was years ago. That man is rent-free. Holy shit. But I'm interested in how you would react. The two main responses are, yes, it's fair. You would let them do this to protect them from any possible hate associating with you, even if it's small. Or, no, it's cowardly and hypocritical, and you would hold them to their standard. And if you are not good enough to associate with publicly, then you want to associate with them privately. Okay, that's a very specific tweet made out
True.
of nowhere for no particular
Very
reason.
specific.
Around the time when families are getting ready for the holidays. Wonder why he said this. Well, yeah, spoiler alert. This was a sub-tweet about Jazza. For clarity, Shad's post about me. I publicly distanced my business from Shad's political views because those views made my staff and me uncomfortable and caused people to make incorrect assumptions about my own views. I was clear at the time that this was a professional boundary, no rejection of private family relationship. After that, personal contact stopped, and Shad's civility towards me at family events became conditional on me reversing that professional boundary. I have not asked for private access while condemning him publicly. I have only asked for basic civility at family events, and that has not been possible. I'm responding publicly because I'm being referenced and effectively put to a public vote over my business decisions and family relationships, rather than just being addressed directly or privately. Shad's public combative post only deepens the divide that for over 2 years has already been difficult for our family. Recording Crispy forgot to talk about this, so here's editing Crispy
What a
to bring it up
nutcase.
because God.
What a loon.
Shad does that cell phone thing again. Jaza posted some receipts from a conversation between him and Shad where they're talking about a family gathering. And Shad responds with receipts of his own, an expanded version of the conversation. And dude, Jaza was helping Shad out because this makes him look so much worse. Here's the conversation. Joss, Blank told me that you would rather talk directly to me and try to resolve the issues we have if there's any hope of you coming to family gatherings with me. The problem is my feelings and views have not changed and seems as though you don't even know why I'm upset with you and think I'm the sole cause of the break in our relationship. If you want to try to resolve this, you need to try to understand why I'm so hurt by what you've done. I'm willing to explain all of this, but you won't like hearing it. Unless this actually gets addressed, I won't move past it. I'm not sure you really want to do this, as you don't seem to be willing to admit any fault. And that's the case. I can't believe you truly want to talk to me and resolve anything. And any attempt at such will only offend you and make things worse, which has been my impression so far. If this is correct, then the best we can do is be civil around each other, which is what Blank was trying to convey to you for the sake of having the family together during Christmas. I will not be trying to make my presence at any family gatherings uncomfortable for you. I'll be friendly and I'll be cordial, but I don't want to chat with you and pretend like everything was like it was, because my feelings have not changed. If you really cared for the family, you would not let my feelings about you stop you from spending time with them during Christmas where I'm present. What a little bitch. Again,
True.
clear. And Shad never counteracts this. He is cutting off Jaza because Jaza does not want to work with Shad's YouTube channel. His dying, terrible, right-wing YouTube channel. There are many reasons why Jaza would not want to do that. Shad is trying to leverage his family relationships to blackmail Jaza into working with him. He's trying to leverage his relationship with his brother to try and get a big collaboration for his YouTube channel. And Shad thinks that Jaza needs to apologize to him for that? Yeah, Jaza ratioed Shad. That's becoming a very common thing, apparently. But Shad had a counter-argument. Well, not a counter-argument. He had a coward's argument. He said that he wasn't talking about Jaza. He was just talking about a random friend, completely unrelated. This is Jaza attacking Shad.
Oh my
Jaza
God.
is attacking Shad, attacking his business when Shad needs his brother most. I mean, how could Jaza do this to his family? I mean, Shad's the victim. He did nothing wrong. I mean, pussy. Anyway, it actually got worse for Shad and Jaza's relationship when Jaza decided to release a video about his AI mistake. You see, Jaza, he's never been as on board with AI art as Shadiversity, but he was definitely fence-sitting for a while, even making some videos musing on what AI could possibly do to make art better. But yeah, he put out a video condemning all those past arguments that he made.
Loud and clear, let me say that I am against the use of generative AI in the production of art and content. And I want to also clearly pledge that I and my team will
I cannot believe that this is Shadiversity's brother. I just cannot believe. It feels so
to
different.
producing art and content without the
It
use
feels
of
so
generative
different.
AI.
Unlike Shad, Jaza can look at his own mistakes, see what he did wrong, and learn. But the best part of this video is that Jaza directly attacks Shadiverse.
Anyone who thinks that this AI-generated Princess Mononoke
Oh my God. Oh snap. He attacked Shadiversity's sloth.
is better than this frame from the original motion picture animation Princess Mononoke is leaning on a perspective that is void of empathy, context, or technical understanding. Worst of all, it strips the original character of her soul simply to reimagine her as a sexualized pinup girl with come hither eyes.
Kind of hard to miss, but yeah, that
is true.
Shadiversity's embarrassing post about Studio Ghibli. This is Jaza publicly condemning his brother's nonsense. As of right now, Shadiversity has not responded. It hasn't gone great for him up until this point, so I can see why. Once again, pussy, I would like to see him try, but also it's probably better for his family's relationships if he just shuts the hell up. It's so sad because this really explains so much of why Shadiversity acts the way he does. His brother is everything he will never be. Jazza is talented and successful, principled, kind. He is in shape. Chad just comes off like the jealous, mediocre brother. And it's killed his YouTube channel.
I think it's a few.
Time to wrap up. Let's look at some stats and numbers. Shad's YouTube channel collapsed in 2025. I don't know the exact reason. It's literally just all of the above that I've talked about so far. He's gone from getting millions of views a month to nowadays not even cracking 800,000. I'll make it clear, those numbers are solid, but you have to keep in mind that YouTube operates based on the percentage of your audience that are interested in your content. So for example, take my channel.
Okay.
On Crispy's Tavern, I have around 150,000 subscribers. When I make a video, if it gets 100,000 views, that's 2/3 my audience. That is an incredibly successful video.
Right.
But 100,000 views on a channel of 1.5 million subscribers, that's not great. Shadiversity sometimes doesn't even crack 20,000 views on his channel. That is disastrous. Also, another thing, I have no overhead. The only person getting paid here is me. All this cash goes in my pocket besides the stuff I pay for taxes. Shad, though, he's got collaborators. He has a set. He needs to pay for this stuff. And because of his lack of success on recent videos, he's got to downsize, which builds a compounding problem. A lot of people came to Shadiversity because of high quality content that costs money. But because that content doesn't get the same attention that it did, because of, all the above, Shad can't make it anymore, leading to even more people distancing themselves from Shadiversity. A couple more things from Editing Crispy. First, Shadiversity regularly makes videos now about how his channel is dying. Dude has practically devolved into an e-beggar with how
YouTube is killing this channel. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy.
He is praying for people to pledge to his Patreon. However, if you take a look at his Patreon statistics...
By the way, you too can become a Patreon on my Patreon channel. I'm preparing I'm preparing that mini essay. Hold on. Boom. Okay. All of you can become Patreons as well, just for $1. Log in. Speaking of begging for Patreon, this is my Patreon. Speaking of...
They're decreasing too. It's not collapsing like the YouTube channel is, but it's definitely not going up. So that might not be enough to save his YouTube. Also, on top of that, a lot of the people who work under Shad, they're also leaving in droves, including...
I'm not full-time here anyway. As you know, our financial difficulties are a little funky, so we've been working with that over the last year, but...
Things are not up and up in the old Shad land, but... What makes this worst of all is that he could be in an even worse position. He has had multiple really weird projects over the years, including trying to build Shad Castle, which never happened and never will happen, to be frank. Oh, and also, he tried to make a movie.
He wrote a book as well, by the way. I'm surprised that the book was not mentioned.
Book, Shadow of the Conqueror.
Oh yeah, there you go, the book.
Now, that movie raised $120,000 on Kickstarter and never happened, which I'm sure all the backers are really happy about. But you're probably wondering, what's that book about, Crispy?
Yeah.
Well, the book has some fascinating content. Content that definitely belongs in certain...
Essentially, it was the woman who didn't have any children by him that seemed to despise him more than the others. To them, that had truly ruined their lives. Many not even finding marriage, and a few still bearing the psychological pain. Dylan wept his head hanging in shame as they spoke. State your name for the record.
Files. If you guys support this video enough, there might be a sequel in store. before that video is made. We've got plenty of other episodes of Critical Failure. If you guys enjoyed this one, if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this other episode where we talked about another alt-right creator.
There you go. There you go. We've done it. That was amazing, wasn't it? Wasn't this amazing? What do you think? Oh, see, there you go, Jazz. I was wrong about AI from 1 month ago. It just recommended it to me. I am subscribed to this person. I was subscribed to this person all this time without knowing that he was Shadiversity's brother. This is shocking to me. This is shocking. I knew of this content creator, but I had no clue that he was Shadiversity's brother. It's insanity. I genuinely did not know. I genuinely had no clue. These AI coloring books drive me crazy.
AI is everywhere, and coloring books are one of those places that a lot of people have experienced them and had various reactions. We're just gonna have some light fart.
We're gonna watch a little bit of this and then we're gonna continue. I hate AI so much.
Light-hearted fun looking at AI coloring books. Chloe Rose put out a video 2 days ago as of recording this video. I bought these weeks ago, so I'm not copying her, so I swear to God. Swear to me! Please go check that out too. I'll link that in the description as well. This video is brought to you by a completely non-AI and wonderful colouring experience in The Color Quest, which is running on Kickstarter and ending soon. My studio, me and my team of human artists have spent over a year putting this together with over 100 pieces of high quality, thoughtful art in colouring books that are of fantastic quality.
Actual artists. Wait, where's Shadiversity? I thought Shadiversity was the biggest artist of them all.
100 GSM, blending card paper, perfect for alcohol markers, and available in a bundle with a set of 48 premium alcohol markers of my choosing. The Color Quest is a journey not to miss out on, and you might miss out if you don't check it out, so links in the description. And a huge thank you to everyone who has supported the Color Quest so far. I can't wait to go on the adventure with you. I'm sorry to say I spent $5 each on these, which makes me feel a little bit filthy,
Dirty.
but this is also a PSA and, you know, educational, so hopefully it's for a good cause. Let's start off with these three. First of all, the theme, Billionaire Nights. But actually, like, the presentation of this is objectively fantastic. The gold glittery like writing and like that gold leaf speckle, it's kind of magic. So when you pick this up, it feels like premium. And when you flick through like that, you're like, okay, this is high quality. Well, let's look a little closer. I couldn't remember a time when I had ever been this happy. When I was swimming with my beloved generically attractive lady and a dolphin with my super yacht made of cellophane. Those lines! This might seem like a silly thing, but if you're colouring in plant, this top line going across here, hang on a second, that's a wave. And then you realise, oh, hang on, that's like half of the plants. My temptation would be to like accentuate this severed shoulder.
What the hell is this?
Maybe that isn't a dolphin. I didn't know what to follow, my head or my heart or my butt. Follow my butt. These buildings are not AI. Flat and geometric, but in a very clip-arty way. So I can see clearly here that like the line art of the back buildings are at odds with the line art of the character in the car, which both look too organic, where the lines don't have any purpose but to be liney. The f is this? By the way, I know these are AI because on the back of the book, the illustration's created by Hinkler Studio using Midjourney. I so much prefer that people making this would credit that they used AI, then try and pretend that they don't. I never truly knew love until I cloned myself. I get like zoomed out, you're like, pretty ladies. Oh, and progressive, ladies that are in love. Until you go to color them in, you're like, they are dining next to a garbage dump, cabbage patch, Who knows? We've got a lot of shading here. If you color in the glasses, we've got a nice purple here. You don't have to do all that much work to make it feel like it's a little more layered. Oh, look at that. It's almost like it's not a good quality coloring book. Because as soon as you actually color it.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Oh, we've bled through so hard. We went through 2 pages.
Oh,
These
no.
nipples. They're like whirling vortexes. Oh,
I hate it when that happens.
oh, it's horrible. We're just having fun looking at coloring books. Their flesh in general, pretty horrifying. What is happening here? That's his forearm. He shoved his hand into a pile of grapes.
Or maybe... What the fuck is this? Oh my goodness. At least he has the right amount of fingers.
I was just going to grab a grape. What is this? What is that? Oh my God. I know your soulmate. There she is. She's got a wrinkly bum, but clearly you guys have a lot in common. It's disgusting. I love art. Love coloring books. I was used to having everything, but she was the only one that I couldn't buy. We came from the same factory. This is how lovers look. Not at each other, but at me. Hey, babe, babe. Hey, babe, babe. Hey, babe, babe, babe. The end. Wow, what a journey. Let's go on another journey. His hand is an apple. That's my favorite part. I wished he would just look and see me as I was now, not just his best friend's little sister. I am an authority on this because I married a horsey woman. I have horses myself. You don't hold reins so that they drop in front of the horse's neck. Just our cowboys heading off to the horizon. You choose. When you color this in, you decide where the horizon is. Maybe they're clouds. Why is there a Tudor house if this is like Western themed? I feel like we've totally abandoned our Western theme. Oh, no, we're back. We've just taken a little vacation to Aspen.
I'm gonna eat your face.
Would my pa let you do that?
I don't care what your pa would let me do. I'm gonna eat your face. Because your face looks like spaghetti, just like the grass behind us.
I like spaghetti grass.
Me too.
Sorry. You know, like that like visual gag of like people dressing as a horse. Someone's the back legs and someone's the front legs. Why does this horse look like it's dressing like a horse in that way? Feels odd to me is this sort of insert of a certain ratio of queer couples. Now, that doesn't feel odd in the context of like having an intentional coloring book that has, you know, various representation. But when it comes in a form and from a company that is clearly only designed to try and pull profit out of people, it just feels like calculated based on the motivation of capital and selling it to like a niche audience you're trying to capture by having a certain amount of queer representation just to cash in on him. Just to make sure that, you know, we're definitely selling to as many people as possible. Just feels gross. Why does no one ever look at each other? Look at these guys. They're right there. Like he's sort of looking at him, but he is definitely not
They're the same person.
looking at him. How do you color it in? That's the purpose. That is the product. It's a coloring book. Where does the color go? It's really not clear. A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of tomato. Can't wait to eat these tacos later. I just like taking tacos with me on my Western journey. This is definitely a taco. And up here, I don't know what they are, so I choose to interpret them as tacos. Oh, we got one more from these guys. Carnival Dreams. Do you feel sick yet? It's a little disgusting. It's so surface level convincing. Like it really is. This is clearly just like a mid-journey image, but they've actually taken the time to make sense of the front and craft the appeal of the product. And you can tell the way they generated this colored image at the front is the same way that they've generated the line work image, because we've got all the folds and all these things that are just sort of turned into lines and just ends up looking unintentional and poorly read. She could feel his eyes on her as she ate, licking the sugary remnants from her lips slowly and deliberately as though in challenge. Yeah, okay, I can see it. The frick? Look at that. That's a track of some sort. Like if this was the cart of the roller coaster, it's on the wrong side because the rails are here and there's no support structure, but it's like, there's a ride of sorts somewhere back there. You figure it out. He hadn't been what I expected, but I was quickly coming around to the idea that perhaps expectations.
Apart from AI, of course. What apart from the eye? Hold on. I feel like Zoshelek said something, but I feel like part of your text
overrated. Like the expectation of having an arm that makes any goddamn sense. But also, how are we both sitting on what is clearly a one-person ride? And why is this tent in front also behind the tent behind it? And all of it is behind the lines descending from the pole in front of everything. No. Oh no! Ah, they're having fun! Gosh darn silly AI! Neither of us have ever seen each other. In fact, we don't know how to open our eyelids. And also, I don't know, are they inside or outside? I genuinely don't know. It's so romantic how they extend and morph their flesh into one another. And their clothes, you know, let's not forget the clothes, how his collar sort of merges into her boobie. Well, this one's fun, but you know what? The seam and the crotch and this weird like foldy area inside the groin, pretty good. Did a pretty good job there. In fact, it's sort of mesmerizing. Can't look away from it. I feel like that's the most magnetic part of this image. Pulls you in, you know. Look at this arm, raised arm. Where's his elbow? If his hand's down here, his arm's like that. That's like basic anatomy. No one does that. It's impossible. And where's her hand? Crushed in the power of his grip. He makes you happy, she said. And that's all I've ever wanted for you. Who's talking? Because they're all just looking at me like they want to do something to me, like they know something about me, like they're gonna blackmail me or eat me or me. Or all of them at once. I made it through the 3 most egregious ones that we found. Now these are by the same company, art maker, so marketing, I guess, and definitely
Right, that's enough for now. Let's watch a Jovan debate just for Maya Mayor. Huh? Wait, hold on, what?
Stop using doko when asking for directions. すみません。駅はどこですか? Asking people どこですか isn't wrong at all, but it can sound a little too direct.
So it's true that 駅はどこですか with the station can sound direct in some situations, but you don't have to stop using them. There's a lot of nuances to this.
Okay, whatever. I don't care for now. Oh, Joe and Bradley. We're gonna watch for a new video. Jovan calls in a special guest for this one. Alright, this is for you, Maya Mayor.
Coming next on the stream, we have Jacob, who wants to talk about evidence for Christ. Jacob, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Jacob, and no age, sorry, 18, and
twincest.
No, he, him, actually.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to question it after the last guy.
All right, Jacob, 18, he, him. Now, Jacob, a couple questions for you. Question number 1, do you agree to have your logic tested? This involves...
I think he started doing this recently. I don't think he asked these things before about the logic tested, etc.
Involves being asked hypothetical questions, following arguments to their logical conclusions, and clarifying definitions when necessary.
What is he gonna disagree about?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Jacob, are you open to revising or conceding a point if a contradiction or inconsistency is demonstrated?
Nope. But one moment, I'm gonna grab a bottle of water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I didn't even mute the mic. Yeah, usually he just asked about a name, Asian pronouns. He didn't ask about this whole thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Now, I read here that you think you have compelling evidence for Christianity?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh,
All right. What would that compelling evidence be?
Well, first off, I just wanted to congratulate you
It's
for
in the
handling
pudding.
that last guy. Yeah. Secondly, I just wanted to say I have the church fathers. I don't know if you consider that, so I'm willing to concede that they don't exist for the argument.
Even if they existed, the evidence I'd be looking for would need to be external from the belief system. So somebody who's internal to the belief system wouldn't be enough evidence for
Look,
me
it's
because there's
Deku from My Hero Academia. I've recently stopped. I've not stopped. I've recently finished My Hero Academia, so that kind of, this is Deku, right, from My Hero Academia.
they already believe in what they're peddling. So like obviously they think it's true.
So, like, you wouldn't count like relations if they knew a person or something like that, or would that be irrelevant?
Whether they know know who specifically.
Say like an apostle or something like that.
Well, we don't have any writings of any of the
Yeah, I
apostles.
just recently finished watching My Hero Academia, so it's a nice series. Okay, people complain about the ending, but I don't see a problem with the ending at all. To be honest, I think it was good.
But no, I wouldn't take the writings of the apostle to prove divinity. That's I don't think apostle writings can prove Christ's divinity.
So, what is your standard for historicity?
Well, I have no problem with saying that Jesus existed.
No, not that. I mean, the historicity of Christianity, right?
Yeah, it's that what Christianity claims, which is the divinity of Christ, it would be untrue.
Oh, okay. Just the divinity of Christ, like not like any of like his actions.
feel
or anything
like-
that. That's not what we're arguing. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the evidence that I would require would be to be able to demonstrate any supernatural phenomena actually happening. That would be the evidence that I would require.
Christ could be real, but I don't believe he resurrected. I don't believe he performed miracles. I don't believe he was the son of God. If he's real, cool. Like him, I have no problem acknowledging he was probably a real guy, but there's no evidence for his divinity.
Oh, okay. So you agree that like miracles wouldn't automatically prove that, right? Just clearing it up.
I think I don't think miracles are a thing.
Exist. Yeah. You would have to
Okay, yeah,
demonstrate
I agree.
miracles
I mean,
to begin with.
What's your definition of miracle? Just like getting it out there because I'm being pedantic.
Well, I would say a miracle would need to be some action divinely inspired that like blesses or helps somebody.
A supernatural phenomenon.
But it's divine, like paranormal type of thing. Like
Well, divine, not paranormal, but divine.
them,
So like at least if we're talking in the context
Divine,
of like Christianity, like I wouldn't say like if a ghost existed like just on its own, I wouldn't call that a miracle, even though it's paranormal, right? But if God made my grandfather come back from the dead to tell me how much he loved me because I felt really sad, then that I would say was like a miracle. It was like divine in nature.
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay. So like, historical like things, anything, even if it's outlandish, you believe it as long as it doesn't involve some like divine thing, like Hannibal crossing the Alps or like any other number of crazy historical events. You don't really find hard to believe based off little evidence.
I can find extraordinary feats, like extraordinary feats that exist within the realm of like physics, and that exist within the physical properties of our universe. Yeah. Totally believable. They would require less proof for me than extraordinary feats that would have to come from magic.
Okay.
So like I could believe somebody I could just real quick, I could believe somebody made a really long, dangerous journey before I believe they walk on water.
Okay. So as long as it's within the realms of physics, it's fine and requires less evidence.
Okay, I don't like the religious. Actually, I don't like the religious debates. Let's go to something maybe a little bit older but more interesting. Okay, this manga is unhinged. I want something more interesting than, oh, let's debate the Christianity. That's okay, I'm past that. Okay, I'm done with that. Not interesting to me.
Coming up next, we have Brandon. Brandon is calling about topic number 5. Brandon, if you can hear me, please provide me with your
MAGA
age
are
and
uneducated.
pronouns.
It does feel.
Hello?
It does feel a lot of the time that MAGA people are highly uneducated. As we've witnessed when we've seen some MAGA adjacent content creators, like, what was this, John Doyle, when he said that the multipolar world order is just communism with extra steps, with Sargon of Akkad that says that demographic is destiny and that movements of people is a new phenomenon and an experiment that has failed. Or who else did we check? Blair White, highly uneducated person.
Brandon?
Well, I'm 35 and I don't have any pronouns.
I'm sorry, say that sentence one more time.
I'm here to argue that MAGA people are not actually uneducated. By the way, I have no pronouns. Fuck me, man. This is beyond parody, okay? I'm here to argue that MAGA people are educated. I have no pronouns. You're not beating the allegations of MAGA people not being educated, okay?
I said I'm 35 and don't have pronouns.
Okay, but why do you keep using pronouns? Like, if you don't have pronouns, that's fine, but you keep using them, so I'm confused.
I don't use pronouns.
I don't have them in the
Bi-
text that
bio.
you all use them in.
I don't
In
use...
the gay way. You don't have them in the gay way.
Wait, what? Gay way? I don't use them pronouns.
You all use them in. Them in the text that you all use them in.
Oh, in the gay way. You don't have them in the gay way.
Correct.
Correct.
So how do you have them?
What the fuck?
Strictly by definition.
Correct.
Okay, what's the definition of he?
A man with balls and a dick.
No, it just means the definition of he is just like a word used to refer to a man. Are you a man?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when I asked for your pronouns, you could have said he, him, and that would have been accurate?
Absolutely. What the why?
I'd rather not leave that.
Why are people stumped by this? Why the fuck are people stumped by the pronoun thing? I don't get it. I don't get the problem. I don't get the hang up. It feels so ridiculous to me. Every single time these weirdos are like, I don't have pronouns. I don't use pronouns.
Boy.
You'd rather not what?
Because I know when people ask for that, then they're implying something else.
What do you think? Hold on. What do you think I'm implying?
Implying something else.
That there's a possibility I could be a female.
Let me ask it this way. I have currently right now. Wait, no, I'm gonna apply it this way. Currently right now, there are almost 1,500 people watching between my two streams right now. Okay? How should those 1,500 people refer to you? Should they call you a he, a she, an it, a they, a miserable pile of secrets?
Well,
like, how should they refer to you?
Oh, Castlevania fan.
Reality and say he.
Okay, so you would prefer that those 1,500 people call you a he, him. So you do have pronouns that you prefer to be called because you'd rather they call you that than something else.
I just don't. What the fuck? I just don't get why this is always such a stumbling block. Like almost every single time, no matter what the topic, this seems to be a stumbling block with people that call into him.
Right, like
It's this obstacle.
Obvious.
That is.
Yeah, so you
reality.
use pronouns in the same way every single person on the planet uses pronouns. So beautiful. So Brandon, You want to talk about MAGA being uneducated. I have a couple of questions to ask before we begin. Question number one, do you agree to have
not uneducated, bad people.
Great. We can talk about either. Question number one, do you agree to have your logic tested? This involves being asked hypothetical questions, following arguments to their logical conclusions, and clarifying definitions when necessary.
This person has already demonstrated that MAGA people are uneducated. Titan Uranus says, Lucy, I swear sometimes think it's because they failed English in the 6th grade. I just don't know what's going on. Every single time, it's just, this seems to be like this big problem, like this big challenge to overcome. I don't have pronouns. Like you woke gay people.
Question two, are you open to revising or conceding a point if a contradiction or inconsistency is demonstrated?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. My stance is that MAGA are uneducated and or bad people. What is your contention with that stance?
Interestingly enough, he does not argue that MAGA people are not educated, but then again, he demonstrated that they are. So
all people are uneducated in certain areas. I mean, that's everybody. Nobody knows everything, even in an age where we have Google at our fingertips and all we have to do is type in a question and gain a response, even though most of the time it's an AI-generated response that's incorrect.
Oh boy.
But with a little digging, you can generally find the truth.
Sure.
But all people are uneducated. Everybody.
In the context, it's...
By the way, we use the same type of microphone. I'd like to notice. See? We either use the same noise gate filter thing. We use the same type of microphone. Have you noticed? Oh, it's not on. Have you noticed that we use the same type of microphone?
Educated about political policy.
I would say Democrats are as well. I mean, that's everybody. Like I say, nobody follows political policy to
I'm not saying Republicans are. I'm not saying Republicans are uneducated. I actually wouldn't make that claim. It's strictly MAGA.
Strictly MAGA. Oh boy.
Well, the only Republican that doesn't support everything Donald Trump does is sadly from my home state, and I'm sure he will not be reelected. Mr. Massey has decided to throw his hat in with the wolves, so he will be treated as such.
Okay, so let me just to confirm here.
What?
You would agree with me that there are MAGA who are uneducated, but you would disagree that that MAGA collectively are bad people.
Correct. We fought too many wars for too many different races and genders for that to be the case.
You fought too many wars. What wars did MAGA fight?
Well, Republicans who would...
We're not talking about Republicans.
Back then, they would have supported Donald Trump just like they do today, even though he was technically a Democrat back then. But
we're not talking about Republicans.
The Democratic views of the 90s are now Republican views of the same day.
He's just gonna ignore the prompt.
But I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm asking specifically
every
what wars MAGA
member
fought.
I have met has the same views.
So then I would agree that
I've never met a racist MAGA individual in my life.
Let me boil down. I want to know some of your views right here. If every MAGA holds your views, that's fine. If they all have your same views, every MAGA you've ever met, do you believe Donald Trump's immigration policy is a good thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you believe Donald Trump's...
And let me tell you why.
Hold on, we'll get there. I just want to get these questions out first.
So eager.
Do you believe Donald Trump's economic policy is a good thing?
Hello, Simon Pierre Dubé.
Well, no, but he told us beforehand that's what was
We're gonna do
happen.
politics later. My stomach hurts a little bit. I've been a little bit... bleh. So I'm a bit lower energy than even usually. It's true.
And we still voted him in, so we accept it.
Okay. Do you believe Donald Trump's international policy is good?
I have to eat some food.
It's borderline.
It's foreign affairs.
I hate Israel with everything in me,
Based, probably for
Netanyahu
different
needs to
reasons,
burn in
maybe.
hell today. So
Based. I don't know if we
yeah,
have
50-50.
different reasons for feeling that, but okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's start here. Do you think innocent people should be rounded up and placed into concentration camps?
Trans issues are probably gonna come up. I bet trans issues are gonna come up. Okay? I bet. Trump dedicated a whole chunk of his speech to trans issues as well. Because that seems to be the big mega topic. Transgender for everybody.
There's only been 3 cases where that's happened, and as with all investigations, there is always a likelihood, no matter what department is involved, whether it's state, city, federal, whatever, there is always a possibility that the wrong guy is going to go to jail first. That's always the case.
What does that have to do with the question if people should be rounded up into camps?
Suspect
Didn't
is
answer the
never
question I asked you,
the
though.
correct.
Yeah, it doesn't answer the question at all. I'm glad that Jovan has pointed it out. Titan Uranus official says, I have never met a MAGA who wasn't racist, but I'm willing to believe they don't know they're racist. True.
Suspect.
That's not what I asked, though. I asked.
It's going to happen. It's part of the deal.
Uh-huh.
There isn't no liking it. It's just part of it. Just like our justice system today with everything else.
So
yeah, the justice system in America is shit. I'm not sure if that's an argument. The justice system in America is bad, is punitive, and just incarcerates people for the sake of meeting quotas because it's a business, basically. It's a for-profit justice system, which is ridiculous to me. Okay, the biggest amount of per capita arrested people, I think, in the world. I'm not sure if America still is number 1 when it comes to the number of incarcerated people per capita, but the justice system in America sucks balls. I don't know what you'd use that as an example for anything. Like, it's gonna happen. Look at our great justice system. Stuff happens in it as well. Well, no, it's shit. It's bad. It's not a good system.
I want to disagree with something you said.
People that end up on death row and get the electric chair.
Brandon, I want to disagree with something you said. You said that there's only been like 3 or 4 cases of this happening, but Alligator Alcatraz, which I equate to a concentration camp and can demonstrate.
Which, by the way, when it comes to the Alligator Alcatraz, we now know that there are like over 200 people missing, unaccounted for. We don't know what happened to them, which should make you worried. That should make you really disturbed.
Straight that if need be, 250 of the detainees of the detainees at Alligator Alcatraz had no criminal charges or convictions. So that would be innocent people in a concentration camp.
They also weren't documented citizens.
Okay, so you think we should throw people in jail throw people in concentration camps for civil infractions? That's okay.
Yeah, it's just a civil. It's just what's it called? A civil, not infraction. There's a term for the type of a civil. I'll remember it. Simon Pierre Dubé says, how you want them to profit from misery otherwise, Lucy? Think about the GDP. Oh no.
I think we have to do whatever it takes to get the mass invasion under control.
And that would...
Oh God, I hate this line. This line about an invasion. People don't know what that word means because Trump abused and abused this term so much that people just parrot it blindly.
Yes, I mean,
yeah, people coming to the US to find a better life, to just start a US, that's an invasion, of course.
Whatever it takes, if we have to execute them in the streets, then that's what we need to do.
What the fuck? What? I think his special expression just perfectly encapsulates how I feel. What the fuck? What?
Because it is.
Oh my god. This is insane. This person definitely should not have a gun. Oh gosh.
A mass invasion. Anything over 5 million people is considered a mass invasion.
You think we should start mass executing undocumented immigrants?
Holy shit. Oh, wait. My temporary card expires today, and I still haven't filed my paperwork to extend it. You are an undocumented alien. You must be shot down because you're a part of the invasion.
I would support it today.
So when I said MAGA are bad people, you wanted to prove that extra right. You wanted to, and you thought you were going to come up here and say that, prove that they're MAGA is not bad people?
Is this a troll? This is trolling. I don't believe this is a sincere person.
Okay, so let me put it this way. All humans.
I have a better way to put it. I have a better way you can put it. This way. Fuck off. Goodbye. No, fuck you.
What the fuck?
Now I'm glad you fucking waited an hour and fucking to talk to me. What the fuck? No, fuck you, bro.
See, that was an interesting
Listen, I would engage with, like, I think these people should all be put into prison. Great, let's talk about that. I just want to mass execute undocumented immigrants. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Goodbye. Thank you for proving. Point number 5, unmatched in the proving ground.
What the fuck was that?
Someone go back and watch every stream I've done of the year since I started with point number 5 and get me the tally. What the fuck? Special shout out to my dear
Oh my
friend.
god, that was unexpected. Okay, let's watch one more. This was short. That was short and sweet. Oh my gosh. We should just must shoot him. I'd support it. Oh god. No way this guest admits to a crime on air. No way, dude. Okay, let's watch this one then. A guest that admits to a crime on air.
Rick, a conservative from Kentucky. Some Kentucky.
This is your brain on conservatism, by the way. Oh my god. Tita Nourandos officials, primates and hating the other. Two terrible things that go terrible together. Yeah. That is sad. That is sad and pathetic. Even drink some water. I just cannot believe this. I should debate people more as the number one target of MAGA people being trans. I should debate more.
Fried conservatism's pronouns he, him. Rick, you are on the line with Jimmy and Javon. Rick, how are you?
I'm doing
How are
good,
you,
man. I
Rick?
don't know what the hell Brian even called in for, man. That dude is just crazy. He's fucking
That dude
insane.
was
His opinions are just
bananas.
insane. Like, if you want, like, hey,
Insane
man,
in
you
the
want
membrane?
Jeffrey Dahmer to babysit your kids? Like, would that
I
be
want to
cool
let
with
Jeffrey
you?
Dahmer
Like,
make me a
Jeffrey-
meal. Yeah.
Right. Like,
Hey, Rick, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 40.
Great. And in the last 3 elections with Trump, who'd you vote for?
Trump.
All 3 times?
All 3 times.
All right. And you are in the state of
go
Kentucky.
ahead.
Who are you
Yeah.
planning to vote for senator this year in Kentucky?
Probably Bashir.
Okay. He's running this year?
I'm actually not even. I'm pretty sure he's running this year. Let me check.
That's this year. Who are your current senators?
I'm really not sure, man. I really don't pay close attention to Kentucky politics.
You know, I often have to look them up, but I know
Kentucky's.
Kentucky's are Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul.
Yeah.
We've talked to a content creator from Kentucky recently. Is it the Kentucky atheist?
I like Rand Paul. I like Rand Paul a little bit. I'm starting to get more into like local politics because that's what we have to do, man. In order to change this country, man, we have to.
Then I definitely recommend you learn who your senators are.
True.
Because
I
Bashir
agree.
is also not running for senator. Mitch McConnell's seat is open, and you have 6 people trying to get his seat. Bashir is not one of them. Who's the governor of Kentucky?
What's that?
Who's the governor?
The governor of Kentucky? Shit. No, I'm not sure of that one either.
Wild, because that's who Andy Bashir is, man. That's
what
Bashir's
I
the
thought,
governor.
Man. I was like, I thought that was Andy Bashir.
Yeah.
But I got my privileges, my voting privileges, taken away.
I see.
For being a felon.
Got it. Did you hurt kids? Is your felony in any way related to children?
Hell no. All
right, then we'll keep it. They'll keep you up.
I would, wood chipper.
What year did you lose them? I got it. What year was that? Did you lose your
I lost them in 2017.
So when you said you voted for Trump 3 times, you weren't telling the truth. You voted for him once, and then you couldn't vote.
Well, they kind of still let me vote.
Are you saying that you were ineligible to vote and you voted anyway?
Yeah.
So you committed voter fraud for Donald Trump.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe your right to be taken away for drug crimes.
No. It's not about what you believe. I think felons should have a path back to a vote, if not being allowed to vote even in prison.
I mean, I find this whole thing ridiculous, but that is funny that he admitted to that. That is funny. But keep in mind, in Poland, prisoners can vote. Like in Poland, if you're arrested, you don't lose your right to vote. You don't become less of a citizen just because you're arrested. I find this whole thing in the US to be pretty wild, that when you go to prison, you lose your right to vote. I find it especially funny that in the US, if you are voted to be president, right? If you win the election, you are president, and you go to jail, you can still serve as president from jail. But somehow, when you're a regular citizen and you go to jail, you cannot vote anymore. That makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no logical sense to me. And again, in Poland, if you're a prisoner, you still get to vote from prison. Okay, you still get to vote as a prisoner in Poland because you're still a citizen. Only for serious crimes. You don't stop being a citizen when you're a criminal.
But if you said you had your rights taken away, but Kentucky still allowed you to vote for Donald Trump, Rick, you are admitting to voter fraud on air and that the government allowed it. So you are confessing to personal and state voter fraud on behalf of Donald Trump. However short this clip is, babe, this one gets clipped. Okay. Rick, who committed Republican voter fraud and Kentucky let him, is on the line.
Just by the way, speaking of 5 MAGA people not being educated, okay? This person is not beating those allegations. This person is not beating the allegations of MAGA people being uneducated.
Line. So you are pro-ICE for illegal immigrants, right?
I'm pro-ICE for illegal immigrants.
Okay, so I'm just going to make it quick and cut through.
Whoa. Rick, are you excited for the Kid Rock halftime show?
Sorry.
What's the Kid Rock? What's the Kid Rock halftime show?
Kid Rock
Good
is
enough.
putting on an American halftime show to combat Bad Bunny. Who do you think we should be watching? Should we tune into Bad Bunny or should we tune into Kid Rock?
Oh
I'm vaguely familiar with Bad Bunny.
Hell yeah, brother.
Vaguely familiar with the most listened to artist in the world right now. Okay.
Hey, let's not shit on. Don't ask me to name a song.
I'm a deadhead, man. Like I listen to Tool and A Perfect Circle, and I listen
Viagra
to good
Boys.
music. I don't
I'm
listen to
sorry.
trash.
You're a deadhead who is pro ice?
What the fuck is
Yeah.
happening today? What the fuck is happening?
All right. I think I just had some amygdalas evaporate. My brain is just wrecked
Rick,
by
you
that.
said,
Okay,
you
Rick.
said you said that you would like bury under the jail like pedophiles, right?
Oh, I would bury under the. I wouldn't. They would go in front of a firing squad if it was my was my choice.
How do you feel about the fact that Donald Trump sold a 10-year-old girl that he would date her in 10 years?
Wait, what?
Girl that he would date. How do you feel about the fact that Donald Trump sold a 10-year-old girl that he would date her in 10 years?
What the fuck? I'd put him on the list, ideally. I put Mr. Donald on the list.
Shit, anybody dating anything under 10 years of their age is just a piece of shit.
Under 10?
Okay, but you
I'll
voted
put it
for
that
him?
way.
Like illegally?
Yeah, I mean, between the options of the Kamala
Of a
Harris
pedophile and a non-pedophile?
Joe
You would
Biden,
you would rather a pedophile over a black woman?
Oh boy.
I'd rather
What
a
about the fact
pedophile
that
over
Donald
a
Trump?
black
Wait.
woman.
What about the fact that
And I-
Donald Trump?
I didn't say
Donald
anything
Trump.
about.
Wait, but Trump said that she wasn't black or something, or that she became black or whatever. This just wasn't that the Trump line that she became black?
Wait, real quick. What about the fact that Donald Trump brought Lawrence Taylor to the White House to help him work on a fitness program for kids? Lawrence Taylor was found guilty of raping a 16-year-old child. So, like, what about the fact that Donald Trump did that?
That's what he keeps saying. That what he said in his State of the Nation address.
How so? How so? Like, specifically, Rick, what would she have done that would have run the country into the ground?
She probably has the lowest IQ I've ever seen of a
Based on what?
presidential candidate.
Based on what? Based on what?
Based on all
She
of
has
her
a law
achievements
degree.
in life have been handed to her. Oh yeah, she has she has
How was her law degree handed to her? How was her law degree handed?
I mean, the person that was the person overseeing her education took the paper in their hand and handed it to her when she graduated. There you go. That is how it was granted to her. Like a 30-year-old dating a 20-year-old. Yeah, but that's not. That's an age gap. That's. Also, you're behind in stream.
Sure.
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I guess she can be pretty. She can be pretty smart in books and be pretty stupid when it comes to common sense shit.
Okay, can you tell me?
What the fuck? She can be pretty smart in the books, but pretty stupid when it comes to common sense shit.
What common sense things she was stupid about? Tell me specifically.
She put hundreds of thousands of her own people in jail.
Incorrect. Wait, let me correct you here. I know what you're talking about. You're trying to say that Kamala Harris, in her capacity as Attorney General, sent a bunch of black men to jail for marijuana possessions. It's not true. It's actually only like 12 went to jail on simple marijuana possessions, and none of which were tried by her, right? She was the Attorney General at the time, but California marijuana was illegal. So there was nothing she could do.
Right.
So that is wrong. So I'm just looking for what she did that makes you think she's stupid, specifically.
And Rick, since you said handed to her, hang on real quick. You said
when
Rick.
she's getting asked a question,
Hang on.
she's unable to respond.
No, Rick, she's responded to every question, but she does politician speak, which Donald Trump does too. Donald Trump this last week was asked by a reporter what he would say to the victims of the Epstein files who are saying that they're not getting justice. And he responded to her with, "I've known you for 10 years. I've never seen you smile. She's a young woman and she never smiles." So let's not talk about people not answering questions directly, because that's the craziest fucking shit. You said she's had everything handed to her. Hey, if I wanted a job that required me to be elected, what would I have to do to get that job?
Apparently Joe Brown or
what?
Yeah, that's a crazy racist thing to say, Rick. Do I have to win the election to get the elected job? Do most people have to vote for me?
Yeah.
In democratic states, no, you actually don't.
What am
have
I
to do
listening
anything to win, especially in California.
You don't. So what do you
Is
have
this
to do
person
to win
high?
an election in California? Then, if you don't have to win the votes, what do you have to do?
I mean, you had to beat out the other Democrats, but other than that, you know.
So you have to win the elections. Because a lot of Democrats do run, so you have to at least win the primary. Great. How many Democrats
Okay, I've had enough of this guy. I found a better one, okay? I found a better... This is going to be the last one that we watch today. I found a better one about language. Especially since Jovan is not speaking in this one much. Let's go with this one. Because the language is natural, not social. It has to be the dumbest color yet. Okay, let's go with the dumbest color yet. The dumbest color yet.
Coming up next is Emperor. Emperor. Let's talk about trans men and women. Emperor, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
I don't have pronouns.
I'm 36 and my pronouns are God body.
I'm sorry. Do you use neopronouns? Is that what you're telling me?
I have no idea what that is. I just like to be referred to in the third person as God body.
That's so you do use neopronouns. Are you a member of the LGBTQ by any chance?
No, Lucy, they honestly believe this nonsense. Yeah? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to believe.
No, I'm not.
No, because they're the ones that typically use. They're the ones that typically use neopronouns. Why do you use them if you're not a member of that community?
So I have to be a member of that community in order to use neopronouns?
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Typically, but not like.
Yeah, I've never met somebody who's used neopronouns that's not a member of the LGBTQ.
Oh my God.
I've met plenty. I think that's been around way before.
So you don't identify. You don't identify as a man, Emperor. What do you identify as?
I identify as a man, but you ask my pronouns. That would be like a third person type of conversation, like God body.
What? You know there are first person pronouns too, right?
First person pronouns.
I'm speaking specifically to third God body. Mm-hmm. That's we can move on though. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to continue that conversation, we can.
It's just interesting to me.
No, for sure, yeah.
So when someone calls you a man, you get real upset about that. Like if they say, or not a man, if somebody calls you he or him, you get upset about that.
No, I wouldn't be upset.
Why not? You say you prefer to be called something else.
I prefer to be called God body, but he or him, doesn't bother me. I mean, naturally, that would be what I am, a he or him. Naturally,
you're not a he
to
or
be
him.
referred to as I am though. Naturally,
no, you're not.
Naturally,
but I made the choice to be referred to as God body. It's a choice.
Language isn't natural, so I don't know what you mean by like naturally you're a he and him.
Language isn't natural.
No,
that's an interesting. What do you mean by that?
Language is social. Language doesn't appear in nature. We make it up.
Language doesn't appear in nature. So the development of language is not a natural phenomenon. That's I don't understand that statement. So,
natural would mean it's found in
so is
nature,
it
sans any like society, but that's not the case here.
are we not? So is language not something you can go and find among any animals in anywhere on the earth? That's language. They have a language to communicate with each other. It might not be English, it might not be Spanish, but they have a language to communicate with each other.
Fun fact: animals are also social group creatures. Don't know if you know that.
Not all animals. What do you mean? They
not
socially,
hashtag not all animals.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's
God damn. This is just how does he get so many brain dead people calling in? It's incredible. It is incredible that he manages to get so many brain dead people calling in.
in nature, though, right? So it's natural.
That's
it's
not
a
what.
natural.
That's
so
not what being found in nature means.
What does being found in nature mean? I'll
It means it
just ditch you.
exists.
What do you
It
mean?
exists outside of societies and social groups.
Outside of society. So anything that isn't vocal is what I'm hearing.
Titan Uranus official says, I'm writing a series of books. Perplexed by pronouns, astounded by adjectives. What the fuck is the path? We're perfect anyway, true.
You say, like, what does it mean? So I can't find, if it makes a sound and that sound is communicating from one organism to another organism in some type of language, then it's not natural.
It's really scary to me that you don't know what something means when we call someone something natural versus social. It's really worrisome.
It is scary, but you know what? 5, MAGA are uneducated. Once again, okay? Even if people don't speak directly about prompt number 5, they seem to be proving it correct time and time and time again. Languages exist in nature, sure, because animals exist in nature. But that's not the claim that is being made. Of course, languages exist in nature, but the structure of a language is completely social. That is the claim that is being made, right? Of course, languages exist in nature. Of course, when we make sounds, etc., to communicate, that exists in nature and is quote unquote natural. But the exact content of that language, that is social. 100%. Right? It's just, it depends on what we decide that a thing. There's no natural meaning to the word, I don't know, glass, or natural meaning to the, you know what I mean, right?
Just asking a good question. I just really wanted an answer. Like, if there is a sound from one organism to another, and is that not a natural phenomenon? Like,
just because
I'm
two
confused.
things can communicate doesn't necessarily mean that those two things are sharing any a like language and are like linguistically speaking with each other. You know that, right?
Tomato, tomato. You can say that. You don't.
not
Okay,
tomato,
if
tomato.
dolphins are communicating,
Not tomato, tomato at all.
Do dolphins communicate with each other? They have a
Yes,
language.
dolphins have
There's a
have
language.
been recognized to potentially speak with a spoken language. Yes, because they're social creatures, so they've developed that spoken language over hundreds of thousands of years.
Okay, so crickets have a specific frequency that they emit to let other crickets know they're trying to mate. That is communication through sound.
If a
from one
dog
organism
growls
to
at
another.
me, if a
That's
dog growls
language.
at me, am I speaking the same language as the dog?
You're not speaking the same language as the dog, but the dog is communicating to let you know, hey, you might want to
Okay.
back up.
So there's
Form
a
of
difference.
communication
So
through
there's a
sound.
difference. So
That
you
is a
you
language.
admit to me. So you admit to me that there's a difference between communication and like linguistically speaking to each other in language. There's a difference between that.
What
the
do you
dog
mean
can
linguistically speaking?
What do you think? What do you think?
Linguistically speaking would just be at a more complicated level of communication. So the dog may only be able to communicate to you in
Oh,
5
boy.
to 6 ways. It's still language. Our language is just more complex.
There's a
so
difference
language is a
between-
natural phenomenon that has developed over millennia. It's all. It's natural. It is natural. So me wanting to be referred to he, him, or God body, like he, him is natural. I am naturally born a man. So he, him refers to man. So that's natural. But me choosing God body, that's a choice.
Again, there is a difference between communication and language. Do you agree with this?
Yeah.
A difference between communication and language. I do agree, because we could communicate without using language.
Great. Do you agree that language is a social phenomenon, or do you think language is a natural phenomenon?
I think both are true. It's a naturally occurring phenomenon that we use socially. It's the basis of social interaction. Like, yeah, it is. Though both of those things are true at the same time. Yeah, it's natural and it's social.
Okay. So knowing that language is a social phenomenon, how do you equate language to being natural?
What I just said, both things are true. Language is a form of communication
language
between
to being natural. Or like, if you're just saying that humans biologically have a capacity for language, cool. That doesn't mean that language exists naturally in the natural world. It just means that we have the capacity for this socially created thing.
No, wait. That's so confusing. If you're saying it's socially created, that gives the inference that language is solely for social benefit. When
yes,
that's not the
language
case.
Language is solely for social benefit. Language serves no benefit.
What does that mean?
It means language only serves a benefit if there's more than one being. It serves no benefit for only one being.
So then, I mean, but in what instance is there only one being of a particular species? It's a form of communication. Species must communicate in order to repopulate.
Therefore,
it's a form of communication to stay
Therefore,
safe.
It's social.
It's a form of communication. That's natural. It's a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, I would say that I would stick to my claim that it exists within nature, but the content is socially constructed.
Of living organisms, or
therefore it is social.
Yeah, of living organisms.
Therefore, it is social. Yes.
So all living organisms are social then?
Yes.
Oh, then we agree. That's if all living things share this similar trait, then it's a natural phenomenon. It's just a part of life. Communication, language is a part of life. It's natural.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Titan Urano says, I have a friend with whom I can communicate complex ideas with facial expression because of shared history. We are both able to understand what the other is thinking in a particular context that way. Yeah, but it's a thing that is socially agreed between you two, right? There's no universal thing that is happening naturally, if that makes sense. Body language is the language, after all, right? There is a reason why we have the term body language. Because it's still considered language.
Okay, make your over.
What am I missing?
Like, I feel like you can get into pretty complex territories when discussing what language is, etc. Simon Pierre Dubé, we socially agree you're cute. No. No.
Make your overarching point. What did you call to talk about? This is so dumb that I can't.
I'll take that as a conceit to defeat. Cool, I appreciate it.
It's not a conceit.
I would say all the other topics that you have, besides 1 and 3,
also
I
not
agree
conceit.
with.
I
Like,
think
if
it's
you identify
concession,
as MAGA,
not
you're an
conceit.
idiot. But
that is language as well, though. Yeah, body language is language. Yeah, of course. But there's a reason why it's called body language, because it's language. Yeah, of course.
a trans woman.
Wait, hold on.
In fact, we can communicate certain things with body language that we don't always communicate well with verbal language. But that's a whole different conversation, right? Like there, you can get into pretty, you can get into it, and when discussing what language is.
Hold on, wait. I'm not gonna let this go. Do you know what a natural phenomenon is?
Something. It's a natural occurrence in, nature. It's just natural.
No,
just
it's
something that
specifically
exists.
no, it's specifically something that can only exist outside of social systems.
That's the definition?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can read it to you. An event, process, or property that occurs due to the laws and mechanisms of nature, independent of human conventions, agreements, or social systems.
So by that definition, language is natural because if dolphins exist outside of human social perception, etc. No? Like
Conventions, agreements, or social systems. Due to the laws and mechanisms of nature, independent of human conventions, agreements.
Yeah, independent of human conventions, etc., etc. And earlier they agreed that dolphins may have language, so that by that definition, language would be a natural phenomenon. Yeah. But I would still argue that the content of the language is social.
Agreements or social systems. So the English language is not a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, but the concept of languages, sure, the English language is not a natural phenomenon, but the concept of language itself, I would argue, is, right? Just, I would agree with Titan Uranus on this one.
You're right. We agree.
Now tell me your overall point. Great.
Then let's remove phenomena from that definition.
Yes, if you go back and shift the goalpost, yes, of course, language would be natural in the sense that we have the ability to do it.
I'm conceding to your point. You're right. I was wrong using the wrong definition to make my argument. So you're right. Natural phenomena is that's not correct. Let's just say natural. All right. Is language natural?
The ability to speak is natural. Languages are not.
I mean, I'll concede defeat on that point for using phenomena, but language is natural. It's just a natural part of the
ability to
speak, living organisms.
The ability to speak is natural. Languages are not.
The ability to speak is natural. That's weird because everything doesn't have the ability to speak. Like
when I say the ability to speak, that's not what natural. Jesus Christ, bro. When I say the ability to speak,
trees don't speak.
Just because some species don't do something doesn't make it not a natural process. The ability to make sound, I'm going to say, Emperor, the ability to make sound with vocal cords is a natural thing. Turning those sounds into a language is not.
I can agree with you there. I can agree.
I would actually not completely agree there. Maybe I'm just a contrarian. Maybe I'm just an argumentative person, but I would actually not completely agree there. Interestingly enough.
I can agree that there's a
body language is also not universal. Yeah, it's not, but the concept of body language is natural, but the content is not, if that makes sense.
There's a degree because if I'm making sounds and those sounds are to either to communicate something, they're always to communicate. Animals make sounds to communicate. There's a communication happening. So it is a language.
Just because you are communicating does not mean you're speaking a language.
What? I mean, yes. I could just yell out with no intention of communicating anything, but it's proven that animals communicate through vocal frequencies to communicate different feelings, or it's mating season, or there's danger. That's a
Yes,
thing.
they
It's
are
a
not.
naturally
They are
occurring thing.
not speaking a language. They're communicating, but they're not speaking a language.
I will give you that language in our definition is a more complicated.
In our definition, what do you mean? What other definitions are there except for ours as people?
As people, then as me and you in this conversation right now, you're wanting language to me, or let's just say humans in general. If language, I wouldn't say that they're talking, the birds are talking, but you can't, honestly, fuck that. I'm just going to stick to my point. It's a language. It's a form of communication. Language is a form of communication. It's just a form of communication. That's all it is.
Language has to be structured.
It has to be structured.
Yes. Do you want the definition of language? A conventional rule-governed system of signs, sounds, gestures, or written symbols used for communication and expression. It's governed. Language has rule sets. What are we doing here, dude?
Okay, you're right. You're right.
I know.
Right.
I've been right this
go
whole
ahead,
time.
You haven't, man.
I wouldn't fully agree with him with this.
So your pronouns are he, him, then?
I wouldn't fully agree, because even the most primitive sound-based communication follows certain rules, follow a structure, because otherwise communication would be impossible. If there was zero structure, if there was zero rhyme or reason to the sounds that the animal make to even warn themselves of danger or communicate that there's a mating season, that has to have some sort of rules and structure. Otherwise it would not. Does that make sense? Even if those are the most rudimentary rules. Maybe I should call it.
What definition of language should I be using? What definition of language should I be using? I'll use whichever one you want.
No, we'll use that one. I'm wrong. Language is not a natural. It's not natural. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen under the sun. It's not something. Humans are not natural beings. It's not something like this is. That's an insane point.
You don't know what natural. You don't even know what natural means, homie.
Your usage of natural is trying to remove humans from. You're trying to like specialize humans in the things that they develop. This is what's not natural. I'll give you an example of what's not natural. Not natural is gender reassignment surgery. That's not natural. It's not natural.
Of course, it had to go to trans issues. Of course, as always.
And
that's
so
not
what?
A natural.
Who cares?
So
me wearing glasses is a natural. I'm not gonna fucking cry about it.
True.
Hair dye is not
right,
natural. I don't give a shit if somebody puts hair dye in their head.
It's not natural.
You being this dumb isn't natural either, but I'm not sitting up here sad about it.
It is. I mean, obviously it is natural.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that was brilliant. You being so dumb is not natural. Actually, yes it is. Yes it is. I am naturally very stupid. Oh my god.
It's just something. It just
you
is
admit
what
you
it is, right?
You admit it's natural for you to be this dumb? Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm whatever you want me to be, sir. You cool. For you to be this obtuse is not natural, but you are.
I can just read the definition of natural again.
You read the definition of natural phenomena, not natural.
I can read the definition of natural: arising from nature, from physical, biological, or chemical processes, rather than from human convention, social agreement, or intentional design. That would be the definition of natural.
Exactly.
So language doesn't fit into that. at all.
It does. It does.
To an extent, it does, but not.
We can
fully.
move on. I mean, we can move on. You're right. I conceded my language point. You're right. Language is not a natural.
Oh my god.
Not a natural event. Again, you're removing humans from nature, which is the basis of this entire argument. But
This is quite possibly the calliest call of all time.
The holliest?
Calliest call to ever call.
I don't know what calliest even means.
In order to have
sure.
language, do you have to have social agreement?
Yes.
Okay. Does natural mean you have things that are there rather than social agreement?
Does it mean what?
Does natural mean something being from physical, biological, or chemical processes rather than from human convention, social agreement, or intentional design?
Well, I have an issue with the human convention part. But
great. Yes. Okay, then great. Language is not natural. Thank you. So what's your point about trans people?
I didn't have a...
They do call it natural human language, in fairness, but it's also intentional to a degree. Yeah, I think that's... I feel like the content is very much intentional, but the concept itself is natural.
Point specifically about trans people, I just made a point that they're not men or women. Trans men are not women, and trans women are not men, or they are men.
Sorry, based on what?
Based on nature.
Oh
my god, he actually said
it. Being man and a woman has nothing to do with nature, so I'm confused. Man and women are socially because they're socially constructed categories.
So if language didn't exist, or we were just observing these two exact beings, one has a set of genitalia and the other doesn't. Right? Let's go to genitalia. So then we look at, then there's this third thing that has both. It has both the genitalia. So then we look on a genetic level and see that there are markers that separate these things. So one's XX, one's XY.
I don't know why we're talking about male and female versus man and woman.
Wait. So a male isn't a man? That's not a man?
No, not all males are men, no.
How so?
What is a male tree a man?
Is a male tree a man?
Is it?
I mean, that's a good point. No, it's a male tree.
Okay, so not all males are men, right? Therefore, male and men must mean two different things. Because if they were the same, all males would be men. But they're not.
Yeah, because man refers specifically to humans.
Why
so
does it
you're
refer
a
specifically
man, you're
to humans?
A male human. Like you're
why
human.
Does man,
it refers to your
why does man
genus.
refer specifically to humans?
Because it's in the name. Humans. You're a human, right? It's just short for like genus classification. You're a man. So if you're a male sapling, that's
shit.
I
never thought that it's just because man is in the root word is one of the root word. Whoa. This I have to be.
It's
being
referring
to
point. Human. You're a man.
I have to be being punked.
You're a man. You're a male of the human race.
Okay. I can just give you the answer if you'd prefer.
I'm here for it.
It's because man is a social category that only exists within human societies. So therefore,
Why?
it's because it's something we created to categorize each other, to put each other into categories because humans love categorizing things. But you've been voted off the island. Goodbye.
So that's been our Joe Van, okay? That's been my payment. Plants, I'm pretty sure plants do have sex. Do plants have sex. Yes, plants have sex through a process of sexual reproduction involving the fusion of male gametes pollen and female gametes ovum to create genetically diverse offspring. While they do not have intercourse, they use mechanisms like wind, water, or animals polluters to transfer pollen between flowers. Do plants have sexes? The idea of male and female in plants is a bit mysterious to many people, and there are several variations on the theme throughout the plant kingdom. In plants, as with most animals, the male parts are associated with production of sperm, and the female parts are associated with eggs. Thus, in angiosperms, flowering plants, and gymnosperms, the male structures produce pollen, etc. Have I won this debate? Yeah, you're welcome. Have I won this debate? It's like an 8th grade conception of plant reproduction. Well, you know. We can look for the alternative. No, plants don't have a sex. Many plants don't have sex. They're able to propagate themselves using asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction for plants requires less energy. Oh no, they're plants. All right. We have done this. My stomach still hurts a bit, so maybe I should take a break. Should I take a break? What do you think? I will start a poll on YouTube and on the page you can... Should I take a break? Yeah, yay, or nay? Oh. Okay. And now we'll take a break. I will see you later. I will raid you into somebody. Okay, I'm raiding you to Mercado Media. There you go. Bye bye. I'll see you later.